Well, Chase shot the Western Piedmont Conference with a 10-9 W over R-S Central back on Tuesday, and now the senior-heavy Trojan roster wants to show Western North Carolina that they've assembled their most talented team since winning the conference back in 2023, and that Tuesday's win was no mere coincidence. However, a youthful yet talented R-S squad is hungry for revenge and wants to show why Chase hasn't won at their place in over 15 years. It's a Rutherford County rivalry game on Friday night. Chase at R-S Central is coming up next. Baseball University of the Blue Ridge wants to welcome you to the Western North Carolina Scout Streaming Series, where we're live on the campus of R-S Central Middle School for a Western Piedmont Conference matchup between the CHASE Trojans and the R-S Central Hilltoppers. So, yeah, you heard that right. The field is down the street a little bit. How many miles down the road are we from the actual high school? One. So everything's consolidated. I have a new friend in the booth with us tonight. I want to introduce Canio Costanzo. Did I say that right? All right. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself because I think some of these Western North Carolina sports fans already know your name and probably know your voice.
So I've worked in broadcasting here in Western North Carolina for about 15 years or so. I've worked for local TV and radio stations, and a couple years ago I had my own little business, WNC Sports Network, where we broadcast high school football, women's basketball, men's basketball, softball, and baseball games. You would go to the website and you could listen to the games, and did that for I don't know, 8 or 9 years. Most of the games in Haywood, Buncombe, and Henderson counties. But great to be here. It's a beautiful night for a baseball game on the second day of spring, and excited to see these two teams play.
Starting to feel like spring finally, too. This is an awful winter, and another argument to be made about why NCHSA should probably push back the season a couple of weeks. But it's nice. The weather is got a nice breeze going from right to left this evening. Chad Fowler, he's the head coach here of R-S Central, always a great host. But we're actually going to jump in and talk about the visiting coach first. We're going to introduce Dirk Thomas from CHASE High School. Now, before we jump into it, did we figure out what the acronym was for CHASE?
Yes.
All right,
so
give it to us.
There is an acronym for the letters CHASE, Cliffside, Harris, Avondale, Shiloh, and everybody else.
I love that.
That is CHASE.
I don't know why I didn't know that until today. That's my own ignorance.
Well, you learn something new every day, right?
Well, I moved here, 11, 12 years ago, and I'm still mispronouncing Appalachian all the time, making my neighbors upset with me, but I think they can deal with it if we're broadcasting baseball 3 to 4 times a week and, making sure that we're helping their sons out in their college recruiting. So let's jump in with these high school coaches here. Both these guys have pretty solid backgrounds. Dirk Thomas, he's entering into his 5th year at CHASE, but actually his first season as the head coach. So he's familiar with these Trojans, but he is the leader of the helm in year 1 here in 26. His background's pretty impressive. He played his baseball at Winthrop University Division I program, and I know he's pretty happy with his squad right now, coming off a win on Tuesday there. They're flying high, but as we talked about, Chad Fowler's had their goat for 15 straight years. R-S Central has been beating CHASE here at home. Chad, what we found out today, it was 21 years he's been here at R-S Central, so his coaching career is a drinking age now, so it's good to know. Chad Fowler's been around for a minute. He was actually a CHASE High School grad back in 1999 and played his college baseball at Limestone University. Limestone, now defunct. They had their last season. Was that last year? I think that was their last season in the Division II program. Chad was a big part of the American Legion baseball program in town as well. 17. He said 17 or 19 years. I don't know if he even remembers, but we'll say 17. 3 is the head coach for Rutherford County, and 14 is an assistant at Shelby. So these guys know our area. They've been doing spring and summer ball, with this Rutherford County crew for a while. And again, I know, Canio, you said you're more of the Henderson, Buncombe, up in the mountains, but what's your experience with these two teams or Rutherford County in general? Did you guys ever cover their games?
We did a couple of CHASE baseball games. Now I'm going back 6 or 7 years now, but most of most of the broadcasts that we had throughout the years were those three counties. You know, you take a look at baseball in this area, and it is scary good. And I don't think a lot of people realize we've got some great young athletes here that are playing baseball in the area, and just regionally, teams are really good.
Well, I saw on the news, or the Twitter feed this week, Bobby Dale Reynolds, who coached at East Rutherford for years. He's still the head coach at Cherryville Post 100. He's getting inducted into the North Carolina Hall of Fame.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So that kind of tells you exactly where they're coming from. They got some legends walking around, and these guys have been putting their kids in college for a while. But first, let's kind of step back for a minute and take a look at this new Western Piedmont Conference, because these Rutherford County teams were playing in what was called the Western Foothills, or was the Mountain Foothills 7 for years, and a little bit of shuffle this year. The Rutherford County teams in Patton, they all stay in the same conference, but joining them now is High Britton, East Burke, Drone, and West Caldwell. When these coaches voted preseason how they thought the standings would shake out, East Rutherford received all 8 first-place votes. No shock there. They won the state championship last year. And R.S., they've almost, as good a baseball team as Coach Fowler's had, they've almost gotten comfortable being known as the second best Rutherford County team. That's the challenge today, or the challenge this year, is to see if they can finally wake up and beat the perennial winners, the Cavaliers. But as far as the standings are shaking out right now, the Western Piedmont Conference play hasn't really picked up much yet. I think there might be a couple of games this evening. Isn't High Britton and East Burke set to play tonight? I believe so. Drone off to a tough start. I think they're over. Have they not won a game yet? Now, they had a tough schedule. We were talking to Coach Amber down there the other day. They have the top strength of schedule. I think it was 8? Or no, in the 3A, he was saying. And then tonight, I think East Rutherford playing West Caldwell. That could be a bloodbath. I was going to say, these teams here, I don't know if they're going to be able to rank up East Rutherford this year. They're my favorite again. Any takes for you guys?
Yeah, East Rutherford's had a great season so far. Let's go to you want to go to the power rankings?
Yes.
Let's go to the power rankings, your Mountain 10 power rankings, presented by House of Power, looking for one-on-one lessons for hitting, pitching, and catching, strength and conditioning programs to develop explosive power, facility memberships, so you can train on your own schedule, cage rentals for individuals or teams, then you need House of Power. Founded by former Clemson Tiger and professional baseball player Sheldon Reed, located in Mills River. Check them out, hophendersonville.com to learn more. That's HOP Hendersonville.com.
Well, not much change in the 10 this week. Let's see, TC Robertson, they've been out in Las Vegas. They had that national team tournament. I think they split out there. What other games are on the schedule this week they're going to shake this up? I think AC Reynolds is down at North Lincoln. That's going to be an interesting one tonight. You have Brevard. We saw them on Tuesday. They took out West Henderson, so they're still probably going to be climbing. Pisgah, they were a heavy favorite in the Mountain, or they were one of the favorites in the Mountain 8, but their offense just doesn't seem to be getting rolling yet. And then Madison, man, what a game last night. It was back and forth, a one-run game versus Mountain Heritage until Madison just put the gas pedal down and scored, I believe it was 8 in the 7th inning.
8-run squad, 14-5 final.
Yeah, so that, Coach Tipton's got another good Mountain team rolling. And then on the other side, the flip side here, the Foothills, East Rutherford moves up a spot. I was going to say, let's go ahead and do our read here first.
Yeah, it's time for the power rankings spot. Peak Performance Vault Player of the Week.
No, this is
the Foothills Power 10 or 10 Power Rankings presented by Peak Performance Vault. I was looking at the screen. Sorry about that. Rookie mistake. At Peak Performance Vault, they believe every athlete has the potential to reach new heights and achieve their peak performance, whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting, we provide a state-of-the-art training environment for baseball, softball, and golf that combines modern technology with personalized coaching. They're at 352 West Main Street in Forest City. You can reach them at 828-289-1592 and at peakperformancevault@gmail.com.
Yeah, Peak Performance, that hits close to home here. That's run by Nate Ellenberg, I believe was an R-S Central graduate. So we appreciate them. And then down in the foothills, again, as I was saying, not much shakeup. East Rutherford moved up a spot. I know Hunter was saying South Caldwell knocked out Kings Mountain last night by like, what, 14 or something?
Remember I told you last week, I said East Rutherford is jump South Caldwell, but South Caldwell might jump East Rutherford in my rankings.
Yeah, because East Rutherford, if you remember, they lost to Kings Mountain to open the season. So, and then Gaston Christian had a walk-off win against Hickory Grove last night in the private school matchup. Crest with a big L to Cherryville. So that might push them out of the rankings when we sit down this weekend. And then I think next week we're getting ready for Burns versus Stuart Kramer. So we're really excited to watch that. Poor Southern Piedmont jumping into their conference games right away.
It's time for the Player of the Week, presented by Good Iced Tea, and it's Jordan Tibbs, who we've talked about him quite a bit.
Well, Jordan, I mean, he's been coming up, we brought his name up on the other broadcast. We're trying to speak out on the Mountain Valley Conference a little bit more and reminding folks that, hey, they are one of the new conferences that we are covering. We still got to get out there for a ball game, but Jordan, huge week last week in conference play versus Allegheny. I believe it was Tuesday. He was the offensive hero. They fell behind early, and then he hit a grand slam to help the Huskies take the W in the first half of that conference matchup. And then later in the week, that Friday, he was given the ball in the bump, and he proceeded to strike out 16 batters, picking up the W. Did it on both sides of the baseball. Jordan is a commit to Mars Hill University, so he's going to be playing Division II baseball next year. And we may be up there in Jefferson City, I believe, up there in Ashe County. We're going to be trying to get up there for a conference game as the season rolls along here. So congratulations to Jordan. And now word on our Good Iced Tea sponsor.
Yeah, Jordan had a great week, and we're sending him some Good Iced Tea, whether it's original Carolina Peach, zesty maple, or tropical island thyme. All you have to do is brew, chill, relax, repeat. Earl, the mascot, loves it, and so do we. Order a pouch today that comes with 10 bags for 10 gallons of delicious Ceylon black tea at goodicedtea.com. Follow on Facebook, Instagram, and X.
I made some the other day. So remember you brought all those bags over. I separated the prize tea, and then we made a big old bowl, or a big old pitcher, right? Big glass pitcher of it. And it was delicious. So hop on the website, get yours today. I know some of the coaches have been asking about the teas when they do their nominations. So they want the tea. I mean, time to have a Western North Carolina tea party. So, well,
let's talk a little bit about CHASE coming into this ball game. Last year, finished the season 10-14. They've gotten off to a good start, undefeated in the conference play as well.
I mean, that's huge for them because, again, you said it earlier, Cammy, like the baseball down here is unbelievable, but there's just been that perennial finish of East Rutherford, R-S, CHASE. And I think with CHASE starting out 3-0, it's a quick shock to not only the county, but just, those that follow baseball in Western North Carolina in general. But to beat R-S, even by one run, you don't expect that. Hunter was looking through some of the previous matchups. We spoke a little bit about how R-S has beaten CHASE at home for 15 straight years, but in general, R-S has dominated this overall series.
R-S had a 11-game win streak that went, I think, 2016 to 2019, and they played 4 times one of those years. So I'm interested to see or figure out why that happened. But yeah, R-S dominating the series right now, but CHASE was tough for the player back in high school.
CHASE, that 2023 team, they won the conference outright. I think that was the last time anybody besides East Rutherford has won it. CHASE, 3-0 in conference. They are currently, what are they overall? 6-2. They did lose to North Henderson. They swept West Caldwell. They beat the Pinnacle Classical Academy, which some of those pop up sometimes. Those are usually a pretty easy win for the public schools. Currently on that 2-game winning streak. And, man, if they can win today, like, that's history. I mean, you're talking about generations have gone by since the last time CHASE won at the Hilltoppers. So, tell us a little bit about RS.
Yeah, great season last year at 18-7. They finished second in the Mountain Foothills 7. Made it to the second round, lost the slugfest to Lincoln Charter.
Now, that was a crazy game because we were coming back from our second round game and watching that on Game Changer and seeing the scores go back and forth. And I think it was a grand slam.
I believe so. No, Lincoln Charter has a 250 left field fence too. It's like you guys probably remember. I see the faithful here in the booth. They're making faces like you should have seen this field. Now, granted, Lincoln Charter's good, but that was a slugfest. But yeah, take us through the rest.
Yeah, and this year off to a great start. Only lost a couple of days ago. They're 6-1, 2-1 overall, and lost as we mentioned, lost at CHASE 10-9. We'll see what happens tonight.
Yeah, I think Matthew Rayborn was on the bump that night for CHASE. Matthew's a really raw but talented left-handed arm. I want to say he struck out 9 and walked 7 in that game. So it kind of shows you the dramatics that you. I mean, you guys could probably speak for, but for the parents, the fans, I bet you it was a crazy night over at CHASE because not only is it conference play, but it's pride on the table when you're out here in Rutherfordton County. So, but I'll tell you, as much rival as there is, like. These two are really coming together here. I wish y'all could have seen it during the JV game. The visiting dugout, what would you call it? Just the overhang rail or whatever? Yeah, the fence, the rail there, it just tipped over and completely snapped off the metal piping. And all of a sudden, tack welding and pipe cutters and everybody just showed up and fixed this dugout in about 20 minutes. It's a beautiful thing here in Foothills baseball.
And a reminder, Meineke is a pregame sponsor for Baseball University of the Blue Ridges WNC Scout and Streaming Series. With numerous locations in the western North Carolina region, there's no better spot to get your vehicle seen and serviced. Whether it's an oil change, brakes, mufflers, tires, and wheels, AC, you name it. Meineke is doing car care right in WNC.
Meineke pregame show 2 years running. We appreciate that big name on our, partnering up with our broadcast. Yeah, that was awesome. That was my favorite thing. I just love little things like that where the dugout blows up, like falls apart. You got parents coming together. You got machinery being hauled in. Like phones are ringing. They got this thing fixed in about 20 minutes, and that's good old mountain and foothill gumption and just that grit to get something done. So,
and by the way, there was someone here with a power drill, and how fortunate that we had somebody who had a power drill in their truck who was able to help. Otherwise, we might have a longer delay, but no delay for the varsity game, which should start in 5 or 10 minutes.
I think power tools in the truck at a baseball game that's a safe bet. I bet. So, well, look, both these teams, they have some prestigious history. They've sent a lot of kids to college. We talked about both these head coaches having a college background with Coach Thomas at Winthrop and Coach Fowler at Limestone. But where have they sent their players recently? Well, for CHASE, a couple familiar names are still out there swinging the bat or throwing the ball at the next level. We got Andrew Corder. He graduated back in 2024. He was a big part of that 23 conference championship team. He's at Concord University up in West Virginia. It's a Division II program in the Mountain East. And then you got Jackson Gowan, who's been on a journey and working very hard and potentially turning himself into a pro prospect. He graduated back in 23, went to Cleveland, had a really good 2 years at Cleveland. I think he threw the first no-hitter in Cleveland history when he was down there. And then this season as a junior, he's transferred to Queens. So he's a Division I baseball player now. Queens, you may have saw a big upset win over South Carolina a couple of weeks back. Hank Bright, he graduated as part of that 23 class. He's up at UVA Wise. And as of now, I believe that is it for our Trojans at the next level. For RS, a big group here. You got Drew Yelton. Drew is at Cleveland. He started at College of Charleston, but bounced back to Cleveland. Has been doing really well with the Yetis. Jake Lyles graduated last year. He's down at Caldwell with Coach Deaton and the Cobras. Also joined by Colin Pruitt and Jacob White. Pruitt was also a 25 grad. White graduated in 24. Jacob Ellenberg was part of that 24 team. He's now at Chowan after a year at Gardner Webb with their development team. Triplett, he's had a journey. He started out at Limestone, then transferred back to Cleveland before transferring up to Francis Marion Division II program. And Isaiah Hipp, after a redshirt year, he's back for his second season at Cleveland. So that's a good group of Hilltoppers at the next level. Got some prospects for you to follow tonight. We got 2 college commits, one on each side. The first one is Noah Craig. He's the shortstop tonight for the Trojans. Big fan of Noah. He's also a good little pitcher. He's got a little sidearm delivery, which can be really effective. But the kid can run. He's very bouncy, and he plays a heck of a shortstop. I think we'll see that this evening. And then for R-S, you have Zane McLovin. He's going to be playing first base. And it is Berea. Do we say that as Berea, not Berea? So I've been mispronouncing that. But Zane's going to Berea. It's a wonderful school in Kentucky. We'll tell you a little bit more about that school during the broadcast because it's very unique. Some underclassmen that will be joining, we actually got a couple seniors we want you to keep an eye on tonight, too, that are uncommitted. One is your starting pitcher, Landon Millwood. So Landon's been the ace of this Trojans team for 3 seasons. Not a fireballer, but a steady Eddie in the high 7s. And he's going to mix and match and stick around in this game and battle. Left-handed pitcher and center fielder, he's going to be in center field now, is Matthew Rayburn. Interesting senior, uber athletic, need to find a place to play. Pitched a heck of a game on Tuesday. Was the winning pitcher in their W over R-S. You also have a senior, Sawyer Wow. I think I'm saying that right. Sawyer Wow. He was a transfer from the Masters Academy last season. Has been a good addition to Chase. And then you have senior Chase McGinnis swinging the bat as well. A junior, only one in the lineup, but he's a good one. It's Nathan Thomas. He's going to be behind the plate. We're a big fan of Nathan. We'll talk about him a little bit through the broadcast. And then 2 sophomores, Gage Holland and Henry Hodges. For R-S, Landon Whitley is an uncommitted senior. He'll be out in center field. He wants to play in college. He does everything well. And I think if a college coach can tap into some of his power, he could be very good at the next level. Starting pitcher tonight's going to be Austin Hopper in that 27 group. He can be in the mid-8s, so we'll be checking out his fastball. And then a few bats to keep an eye on. You got Carter Cobb and Nathan Tang. We like to call Nathan the Big Tang Theory because he's got real pop. He'll be at third base tonight. I want to mention Harrison Coffey. I believe he pitched on Tuesday. We probably won't see him tonight, but he's the son of former Major League pitcher Todd Coffey. He's been throwing really well this year. A couple 28s. You got Ryan Holly behind the plate. Brody Fowler is going to be in the outfield, and Jacob McDaniel at second base. And then one freshman to mention. I don't know if he's in the lineup, but Coach Fowler is excited about it. It's Xavier Trejo.
Have the keys to the game presented by Meineke Fleet. What makes Meineke the smart choice for your fleet? Solutions to meet the needs of any fleet, including fleet leasing, self-managed, and rental agencies. Meineke is proud to sponsor the Meineke Fleet Keys to the Game.
I think it'll be fun. I'm going to make Canio say the key, and he's probably going to be like, what the heck was Coach Cook thinking when he wrote these? So I'm going to have him say the bold part of the key here, and then I'll elaborate on it because I just want to see your reaction on these.
Senior Smackdown. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Chase first is a Senior Smackdown. Majority of these Trojans are varsity veterans, and after that big upset on Tuesday, they're looking to make a loud statement. It's going to have to be a senior-led effort tonight if they're going to break this 15-game or 15-year losing streak here at R-S.
And then R-S Central. Let's go to the hop.
Let's go to the hop. Yeah, so Austin Hopper. That's a reference to the old 50s pop song. Let's all go to the hop. Austin Hopper's got some pop on that fastball. If he can get up there 84, 85, 86, that might be too much for these Trojans to handle tonight. But he is still raw, still learning the nuances of pitching. If he can stay in the zone with that fastball and slider tonight, he could be tough. We got one more for each here.
And Millwood's miraculous rubber arm.
Right, so that almost sounds like we're back in vaudeville or something.
Yes.
You know, we got Landon Millwood. He's been the ace of this team for 3 years, and every time I see him pitch, he's at 105 pitches, but he never seems to get tired. He's going to have to use all 105 today to dance through these innings, get out of jams, and again, he just never seems to lose energy. If he can keep these guys all balanced and keep the Trojans in the game, we didn't expect him to be on the mound in the 7th inning.
And finally for R-S Central, Holly Jolly Tax.
Yeah, I love it. So last year, Ryland Holly was, well, first we're going to be quiet for the national anthem, then we'll finish off our keys to the game here in just a minute. Well, I was going to say, we almost made it, Hunter. We almost made it, Canada. This is the problem we have, is timing. We're always this close. But anyway, it's a Holly Jolly catch miss. Last year when we saw R-S play, it took me a game or two to realize that Ryan Holly was a freshman. But the kid looked so stoic behind the plate. He added a lot of stability to the defense. And it's year 2 for this young man. And I believe that every great team has a great catcher. So I'm looking for Holly to dominate and control the run game and let Austin Hopper cook out there. Let Austin throw the slider in the dirt and just be the professional catcher I think he is. But those are Meineke Fleet keys to the game.
Bloom Patch Farm, right here in Hendersonville. Bloom Patch Farm is a specialty micro farm dedicated to rare and extraordinary dahlias. We offer rare dahlia cuttings, premium tubers, healthy potted plants, seasonal bouquet subscriptions, and custom floral work. Bloom Patch Farm ships cuttings and tubers nationwide throughout the year. We specialize in rare and hard-to-find varieties, including the stunning water lilies. Join us in person on April 11th for our farm sale. Free RSVP tickets are available right now on our website. To inquire about seasonal subscriptions or custom floral designs, email us at bloompatchfarmll@gmail.com. Shop online and reserve your in-person sale tickets at our website, bloompatchfarmllc.com. Bloom Patch Farm, rare blooms grown with intention.
Austin Hopper taking his warm-up pitches. Let's give you the lineup for the Trojans of Chase. Landon Millwood, the pitcher, batting first, and Nate Thomas behind the dish, batting second. Noah Clegg is the shortstop, batting third. Nathan Rayborn is the center fielder. He's in the cleanup spot. Sawyer Waga is the third baseman, hitting fifth, and Zach Branch, the DH, hitting sixth. Henry Hobbs, the second baseman, hitting seventh. Chase McGinnis at first base, hitting eighth, and Gage Holland is the right fielder, hitting ninth. Defensively for R-S Central, it's Henson, Whitley, and then Fowler left to right in the outfield. Tang, Austin, McDaniel, and that's Lovin in at first. Holly and Hopper make up the battery. And here is Landon Millwood to start things off.
starting with pitcher versus pitcher here, so I'm going to bring that to the forefront early because this game will come down to these two individuals and how much they fill the zone. Hopper, it's going to be probably 82 to 84 is my guess. We'll get the radar gun out in a minute.
First pitch misses. Fastball is a little bit outside for a ball 1-0. Just underway here at R-S Central on a gorgeous spring evening. Fastball is a little high, 2-0 now.
A fastball in at 82, so some early juice from Hopper. Hopper also a really good student. 83 on that fastball. So I believe Hopper's a 4.0. I have to go back and check my notes. Quiet kid. Very quiet, but he's very good at it.
This is hit into shallow, actually the second. McDaniel's under it. That's the first out of the inning. One down. Here comes the catcher, Nate Thomas.
I'm a big fan of Nate. Nate came out to our prospect film back in August, and I felt so bad because he came out to get his pitching done, and he tweaked his arm a little bit, but he's fully recovered. We're going to get with him in June to finish up his position player prospect films.
He leads the Trojans with a .474 batting average. He'll take the first pitch wide for a ball.
Nate is kind of a jack of all trades. He pitches, catches, shortstop, center field, and as Canio just said, he's off to a hot start.
That's on the edge for a strike, 1-1 the count. There's a ball popped behind the plate. Is there room? No.
I wonder what he threw there. That kind of might have been a changeup there, right on right changeup. Interesting hop. I mean, here I am criticizing him in the pregame, saying he's got to grow up a little bit as a pitcher, and he's throwing a right on right changeup. Shame on Coach Cook.
1-2, just a bit high. Thomas looked like he wanted to offer for it, did not. Evens the count at 2. This is popped, and this will go out of play.
Back-to-back sliders that followed that changeup. I think Hop just has to come with the heat here. I'd probably stay up near those letters.
Again, the 2-2, and that is high and away, full count.
So
No,
80,
Craig on deck.
so 82, 83 steady. We'll see if he can get juicy as this game goes by.
Full count pitch misses wide. Thomas is aboard of the free pass. And here comes the aforementioned Noah Craig. He's second on the team in batting average at .450. His 9 hits, tied with Thomas in that category for the most hits on the team.
Thomas,
Great right-handed hitter.
I'll say Thomas is going to run for himself. I know a lot of times you see those catchers and pitchers courtesy run forward, but Nate can run a little bit. In small school baseball, you're going to keep your athletes on the bases.
First pitch was low, but blocked there by Howie. Short lead at first by Thomas. Next offering is upstairs. 2-0.
See, Hopper's been yanking that fastball out and away. No, we got our first mound visit of the day. You know what that means, Hunter? It's Ion Outdoors. So, Canio, this is our fun little way of trying to get our sponsors involved. So, every time there's a pitching visit, it's Ion Outdoors. Ion Outdoors is these beautiful pools and backyard patios. And, you know, so if you're taking a minute here to just talk to your pitcher, get your mind together, you know, you kind of, as a fan at home, see yourself poolside in your backyard dream, dream patio or whatever. So
I can see myself poolside.
well, with the weather changing,
Yeah.
I can too, and you know, if you're seeing that in your mind, then you need to get down to Ion Outdoors. Check them out on Instagram. Check them out on Facebook. If you mention this broadcast, they'll give you a free consultation in pool design. So how about that?
The conversation is over. It's a 2-0 count to Craig now. Hopper's pitch, that is right down the middle for a strike. Third baseman Tang in on the grass. This misses wide. Snap throw to first, and Nate Thomas is back safely.
That goes back to the keys of the game. We talked about Holly behind the plate, controlling the run game. I don't expect the Trojans to just take off at will tonight. They're going to have to work for stolen base opportunities.
Here's the 3-1. And that is a call strike. Craig thought that was ball 4.
Well, not the umpire. If he's anything like me, that zone's probably going to be about 2 or 3 inches wider now. Don't like to be shown up by the batter. Yeah, Noah heading off to New River Community College next year to play his collegiate ball.
Thomas now running on 3-2, and a swing and a miss, and Craig is eliminated. Out number 2 in the inning.
Maybe Hopper's starting to get a hold of his fastball. That's the first one he had yanked. I think going to the off speed to get into the zone up to that point. So Matthew Rayburn at the plate. Again, Matthew is a kid we've been talking about a lot this week. Left-handed pitcher, left-handed swinger.
The first pitch to the ball.
Not really sure where that one missed. That looked close. But this kid's athletic. I'm telling you, he may not put up the biggest numbers in the county, but he may be the most athletic kid in the county. And I wish he'd give himself an opportunity to play college baseball because not everybody's blessed with these types of tools.
1-0 is inside 2-0.
He's got a pretty swing, too. You know, lefties always get more attention as, you know, for pitching, but this kid can swing a little bit. He's in center field this evening. So for any JUCO coaches out there, there's a kid that wants vocations. He's interested in electrical work.
This one's over for a strike, 2-1. Hopper has missed and been behind his hitters early on.
His stuff is good, but if Chase is going to compete tonight, it needs to be 2-1 counts, 3-1 counts, getting ahead and looking for their pitch.
This one's on the outside edge. That's a called strike to the left-handed hitting Matthew Rayburn. Thomas walked. He's still at first. Here in the top of the first inning, no score between Chase and R-S Central. Austin Hopper looking to get out of this inning. Swing and a miss. He went around, and down goes Rayburn. So in the first, no runs, 6 errors, 1 man left on base. Chase nothing, the Hilltoppers coming to the plate. And we want to thank the following businesses who are home team sponsors tonight, supporting the time put toward marketing this game to college coaches, pregame and editing and posting highlights for the R-S Central Hilltopper prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media. Sakura Japanese Cuisine, 3 locations in Spindale, Forest City, and Hendersonville. Some delicious food.
Well, I was going to say,
Sakura Japanese Cuisine.
I've already been up here eating it. I've done ate the sushi they brought us. They got some Thai food up here. I ate about half of that. I'm trying to stand up just to see if I can work it through my system a little bit because now I'm no longer hungry. I'm fulfilled. And I'm feeling great. And it's all because of Sakura Japanese. So we appreciate their sponsorship. And they're all over the place here. I see their name up on the scoreboard out there. I think they're right down here serving their food out of the concession stand. So
let's go to the lineups for the Hilltoppers. Rylan Holly batting first. He's the catcher. Zane Levin, the first baseman. Then Carter Cobb, the DH. Landon Whitley is the center fielder. He's hitting in the cleanup spot. Brody Fowler, the right fielder. Nathan Tang at third base. And then Jake McDaniel, Maddox Henson, and Carter Austin. Facing Landon Millwood and this defensive alignment. Ethan Hauser in left. Matthew Rayburn in center. Gage Holland is in right. Sawyer Waugh is the third baseman. Noah Craig at short. Henry Hodge at second. Chase McGinnis is at first. Nate Thomas behind the dish. he and Millwood make up the battery for the Trojans.
Well,
Right-hander loosening up.
I was going to say a little different style than Hopper. Hopper, on that last strikeout, the Rayburn, his fastball's up to 84. I won't be surprised if Millwood's not over 77, 78 tonight. But if you see the pitch coming out of his hand, you're going to see a lot of arm side tail. He's got that good two-seamer. He mixes and matches with the changeup and the curveball. He's no stranger to competition. So I expect him to compete tonight. And even if he gives up a couple runs, lets a few people on base, this kid does not get shaken easily.
Not shaken, not stirred.
Nah, this kid, well, he looks a little shaken with that hair, but I love it. You know, got the golden locks out there, all sorts of disheveled.
This ball is pulled a mile foul down the left field line. Rylan Holly behind in the count, 0-1.
Millwood's Rutherford County, born and raised, but he's got that West Coast surfer haircut going on.
That's the Mark Fidridge look. This pitch over first, right, quickly, 0-2. If you're younger kids, you're going to have to go Google who Mark Fidridge was.
Just add the word bird.
The bird, yes. What a character. Pitcher for the Detroit Tigers back in the mid-70s. Here's a tapper foul.
Ryan, your dad was in the comments saying we have a little bit of audio issue. I got that squared away. Someone let me know how that's doing right now. I apologize for that.
Issue.
It's not even that camera right there. I don't know why.
Really?
I think I accidentally showed him.
Anything I need to run out and do?
As the 0-2 is hit into center field, coming in now, backing up is Rayborn. He'll make the play one down in the bottom of the first.
Your call on that is very accurate because, again, Rayburn is so athletic, but he can make a mistake like that, come in first, and still retreat with plenty of time. I think he's a perfect junior college prospect that could be molded into an offensive or even a pitching prospect.
Here is Zane Lovin. And he swings at the first pitch.
Huge fan of Zane. This kid, I love this kid. And even though his last name is Lovin, no pun intended. He's heading off to Berea. We said it right. Berea College in Kentucky. It's a work-study college. It's an awesome opportunity for summer mountain kids. If you have good grades and you qualify for particular financial aid, they pick up the whole bill. And I think a lot of our families would be wise to look at Berea for their academics and their athletic opportunities. But again, Zane's a good student. He's going to be paying $0 for college.
Here's a pitch that paints the edge, and that's a strike, and quickly it's 0-2.
Can't argue with that, Bill.
No. If it's free, it's for me, right?
Well, I still got school loans chasing me. I think Hunter's got them. I think most people in my generation got some school loan chasing you. So if you can get out of there and with no debt.
Here's the 1-2.
Just a little bit low.
For a ball. All right, switching up the mics real quick to see if that.
And it's now 2-2. Pitch was very close, just missed. This one on the outside edge, that's a called strike 3. Lovin retired 2 down in the bottom of the first, and a scoreless contest. Carter Cobb, the DH, will come to the plate.
Carter Cobb has gotten a lot better over the last 2 seasons. Had a great sophomore season on JV for Coach Fowler.
Takes the first pitch long away for a ball. We are underway here at R-S Central Middle School. It is a scoreless ball game playing the bottom of the first inning. The 1-0 is in the dirt, 2-0.
So if we're having audio issues, it was pulling on camera over there. Were we catching any inappropriate conversations from the R-S Central dugout? Because that camera is right above Coach Fowler.
That 2-0 is over for a strike.
He was a unwilling participant of being mic'd up during the game.
Did not want to do that, huh?
Well, I think most coaches hate that. Like, even when I watch MLB games and I see them come into the dugout, I just feel that coach is like, please make this stop. I don't want to do this at all. I want to coach.
Yep. The 3-1 tap to third, and that's a foul ball. Full count now.
How's that going?
It's still choppy.
No, I meant the audio.
It's choppy.
2 down, bottom of the first, no score. And the 3-2 offering is a little bit low and away ball for. That was a close pitch. Cobb, the first base runner for the Hilltoppers, and that'll bring up Landon Whitley, the center fielder and the cleanup hitter.
Cobb runs pretty well for a corner infielder. He's actually doing the DH tonight, but he's got a little bit of speed over there first. Might not be a blazer, but he ain't no slowpoke.
Big lead over at first base, and this is lined right to second. They'll flip over to second for the force, where Cobb is retired, and the inning comes to a conclusion. So, in the inning, no runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left on base. After an inning, we are scoreless. And friends, a reminder, for the best coverage and content of Western North Carolina baseball, visit our Patreon at patreon.com/BBUniversityWNC. Here you'll find conference previews, preseason and playoff predictions, power rankings, players of the week, podcasts, highlight films, and much more. Memberships start at $1, and all the money raised stays right here in WNC. Support Mountain Baseball.
Well, in this case, Foothills a little bit too. And that's the fun part of Western North Carolina baseball is trying to create some Mountain Foothills rivalries over the next couple years too, encouraging the better teams from both areas to play. Got a second inning sponsor, Comfort Keepers.
Comfort Keepers specializes in comforting solutions for in-home senior care. Nothing is more important than helping people to live full, independent, and dignified lives within the comfort of their own homes. Comfort Keepers offers an extensive range of non-medical care services tailored to the unique needs of each individual we serve, serving Buncombe and Henderson counties, and also hiring for part-time positions. We need flexible people in the AM and PM shifts in the Asheville and Hendersonville areas. Contact them today, 828-687-1199. There's a tapper to second, 1 pitch, 1 out, and Sawyer Waugh is retired.
Appreciate Comfort Keepers. That's a business out of the TC area, and it's a funny story with TC coming back from Vegas. They had actually the Comfort Keepers had reached out to us saying, "Hey, can we fund you and Hunter to come out to Las Vegas and broadcast?" And I said, well, beyond my wife already having a sixth sense that I've been invited to Vegas, it's a hard no. But, we appreciate the offer.
It's a great offer.
Oh, it was
right?
a great offer, but not in a million years can I get out there nowadays. Holy cow. We homestead. I couldn't be away for that long.
By the way, it was also 100 degrees there last week. Just saying. I checked the temperature.
Weren't they setting records?
Yes.
Like I heard it was the hottest it had ever been, and that's already a hot oven of a place.
Austin Hopper now behind Zach Branch, 3-0.
Branch, a senior, he can swing it pretty good. I'm not sure if he wants to play in college, but he's a good athlete.
Here's the 3-0, and that is ball 4. So a 4-pitch free pass.
See, no hits in the game yet, but I think that's the third walk we've seen.
Yes, it is.
That was the story of the game.
That
was the story of the game at Mountain Heritage last night. Madison only allowed 2 walks on the night, but the Mountain Heritage pitchers allowed 13, along with, I believe, 4 hit batters.
Wow.
So for it to be a 1-run game all the way into the 7th was pretty miraculous.
Here now, Henry Hodge. Late swing, and he's behind in the count, 0-1.
I think we got that sorted out. I think I don't know. Some with OBS. It could have been OBS, could have been Mike. So.
Just let me know if you need me to go troubleshoot something.
And the 0-1 hit the second. Can they get two? They'll get one at second. The throw to first is wide, but they will get the lead runner as Hodge is retired.
It's fielder's choice, but I haven't seen too many clean double play turns yet this year. The cleanest we probably saw was last night on that 1 to 6 to 3 Dallas Bartlett turning in the middle. That was pretty.
Here comes the 8-hitter and first baseman Chase McGinnis. He's hitting .294 on the year and takes the first pitch for a strike.
Older brother Chipper, assistant coach.
Chipper McGinnis, assistant coach for Chase. Nice. And he played at Lenore-Ryan? So older brother of Chase, Chipper, played at Lenore-Ryan. Anything afterwards?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. So it's a good baseball family here in the Chase community. Again, still amazed that I did not know Chase was an acronym until today.
The 1-1's a little bit high, 2-1.
I like the Chase pinstripe uniforms, though. These are probably one of my favorite sets of unis I've seen. Pinstripe versus pinstripe.
Yeah, both teams wearing pinstripes. R-S Central wearing their home white jerseys. Chase wearing the road jerseys, and that next offering was high and away, so it's 3-1 now to the 8-hitter McGinnis, with Holland, the 9-hitter, awaiting on deck. And that misses wide, ball 4, another walk.
Holland goes down first with the bases on the balls. And that brings
2 on, but 2 out.
Number 9, Ethan
And
Hauser.
I wonder what Holly's trying to tell Hopper here. You know, he's probably saying, like, look, your stuff's pretty overwhelming. They're not hitting you. You're just around the zone. Like, let's just aim at the bats. You know, you got quick infielders out there. Again, Austin's pretty sure-handed in the middle. Double play is very – Nathan Tang is a good third baseman, too. He's got very fast hands. So if you can get a ground ball on the left side here, you might be able to get a double play.
don't need a double play.
Oh, I was already 2 outs.
Well, you can get a force at any base.
Well, you know.
With first and second.
There you go.
And the first pitch is a strike. 0-1 to Ethan Hauser. 2 on, 2 out. Visiting second, no score between R-S Central and Chase. This one is over for a strike, and quickly 0-2. Hopper has walked 3 early on. A pitch away from getting out of this running jam. This is the fastball outside. 1-2 the count.
Well, it's nice having some free hands here. I'm trying to do some social media updates now on the fly and see if that helps us grab some more viewers here on the YouTube.
The 1-2 misses wide. 2-2 the count. Hopper looks back at the runner at second, comes plateward. Misses high, full count. Austin Hopper is a pitch away from loading him up and flipping the lineup over and bringing up Landon Millwood.
It's a big pitch coming here from Hop. This is where he starts, you know, becoming, you know, transition from being a thrower to a pitcher, because right now they're not beating him. You know, he's beating himself here by putting these runners on.
The right-hander Hopper is ready. Runners should be taking off. They do, and this is fouled right field side out of play. So we'll do it again. Again, a 3-2 coming up.
And you want to see if you can prevent the lineup from getting turned over too soon here.
And that pitch high and away. That's ball 4. They're loaded.
So is that 3 straight walks?
That's 3 walks in the inning, but not 3 straight walks.
The
It was
fielder's choice. Yep.
But it does load the bases, and here comes Landon Millwood, who popped out to second his last time up.
Millwood's a pesky hitter. He's not going to do too much extra base damage on you, but he'll get his singles. He'll find his barrels. You know, he'll flick one through the 5-5 hole or between second and first base.
This pitch is away, ball 1. 6th batter to come to the plate here in the second inning. We are playing the top of the second. Still no score between Chase and R-S Central.
Trojans definitely hoping to do damage, but at the very least, they are getting Hopper's pitch count up.
He throws a strike there, evens the count at 1.
After a 10-9 battle on Tuesday, both these bullpens are probably spent a little bit, so whoever can get into the bullpen first will be at an advantage.
That fastball hits the outside of the plate, and now it's 1-2. Can Hopper get out of this jam? The pitch just a little bit outside.
You probably heard it in the background.
The locals disagree with that call.
I mean, I disagree with that call. That looked good from here.
Now the 2-2. That's way outside.
So the runner's going to be moving on this one. And I tell you, a lot of it sometimes where the umpire sets up. Today you can see he's on that left side of the right near the right-hander's batter's box line.
Here's a ball up the middle. It's going to be stopped by McDaniel. 1-run score. He takes the throw to the plate of the second runner, and he's out.
Excellent
So an
defensive
infield
play.
single and an RBI for Millwood. However, McGinnis is out at the plate. 6-2 for the third out in the inning.
Well, let's make note, that is some BH Granning glove work right there. The second baseman, McDaniel, slid, stopped it. The run scores, but able to hop up and throw that ball home to Ryland Holly. Makes a great tag blocking home plate there.
A run, a hit, and 2 men left. 1-0. Chase with the lead, and we want to thank the following businesses who are away team sponsors tonight, supporting the time we put toward marketing this game to college coaches, pregame and editing and posting highlights for the Chase Trojans. Coast Guard CWOA, check them out, CWOA, uscg.org. And B&B Wildlife Management, you can reach them at 828-231-0249.
Well, we hope our audio is back in play. We appreciate those that reached out and helped us try to troubleshoot.
Thanks, Chris.
And then my brother texted me too, so it's good to know he's watching. You know, that's part of this whole thing. 3 years in and not being tech heads, like trying to learn on the fly. But we appreciate everybody sticking with us. We appreciate our sponsors. B&B was mentioned earlier. We like those guys a lot. They've been sponsoring us for 2 years, but they wanted to make note that this time of year for wildlife management, the 2 animals, anybody got any guesses here? 2 animals are giving them the most trouble. 2 animals that are getting the most calls on.
Porcupines?
Nope. Good guess, though. We're in that.
Number 20, Brody Fowler.
Beavers and groundhogs. Beavers and groundhogs. Who would have thought? So that's your Jeopardy question. So what 2 animals are giving B&B management
I met
most?
Phil. I met Phil.
Is that the new Jeopardy guy?
No, I met Phil the groundhog. Punxsutawney Phil. Punxsutawney Phil.
Punxsutawney Phil.
I met him in Punxsutawney years ago.
Was he in the shadow, right?
He was actually, they have him stored in the local library in I'm not kidding.
Alive or stuffed?
No, he was alive, walking around. He had a little area, and then they throw him in the tree, and in February they yank him out.
What a life.
There's a tapper foul.
Punxsutawney Phil. I should go watch Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. That's a good film. I ain't watched that in probably 15 years. All right, Landon Millwood, tall, lanky pitcher. Haven't got any radar on him yet, so let's go see where Landon's at today.
That pitch misses to Brody Fowler, so it is a 2-2 count to the left-handed hitting Fowler.
Brody looking a lot bigger than he did last year.
Millwood's pitch, swing and a miss.
It's a nice block up there by
Fowler
Thomas.
down on strikes. Here's Nathan Tang to the plate.
So Fowler, who just struck out, that's the son of Chad, the head coach. And he was getting mostly JV time last year, but, man, he looks a lot stronger this year. So that's always something that stands out to a scout is when you look 20 pounds heavier the next year. Nathan Tang, the big Tang theory. His kid can hit a ball a country mile. He's kind of got a little Jose Altuve in him. You know, what do you think? 5'5", 5'6", but he can hit. He hit a grand slam the other night, I believe.
0-1 is a curve that is in for a strike quickly. It's 0-2. By the way, I said last half inning that Chase picked up a hit. That's not a hit for Millwood. That was a fielder's choice as that fastball misses. So we have yet to have a base hit in this ball game. And maybe Mr. Tang would provide one right here. The 1-2 to the right-handed hitting Tang. Swing and a miss. Ball drops, so they'll throw it down to first.
Well, I thought that was a hit in the last inning. Yeah, because the bases were loaded.
That's okay.
There was a hit because all the runners reached, but the out was made when the runner from second tried to come around and score.
So I was right originally.
You were right originally. Landon Millwood had an RBI single.
I should not.
The scoreboard operator, we're about to flog him in here. He's one mistake away from a flogging.
The beatings will continue until morale improves. One of those things.
But
I should have went with my original instinct.
That was a fun action play. That might actually be our early leader for the next level North Carolina baseball play of the game.
It could be. As Jake McDaniels comes to the plate, he has got a 2-0 count on him. Landon Millwood's pitch is in there for a strike 2-1.
You can't take Landon Millwood lightly. I mean, I'm not trying to dog these Hilltoppers, but a few are up here in the pregame. And, we're just talking about the game. And it's easy to be like, oh, Millwood doesn't throw super hard. Well, hey, look, that was actually just an 80-mile-per-hour fastball. So, there you go. He just broke 80. But if you go ahead and you mix and you match and you hit your corners, and in his case, he's got a lot of arm side run on that fastball, he's going to be a tough one to beat tonight.
And there is a walk, so that is the second walk given up by Millwood. Both pitchers have struggled early on with getting the ball over the plate as Maddox Henson steps to the dish.
3.
Austin Hopper, pitcher for R-S, has given up 4 walks in this game as that pitch is out of the strike zone for a ball. I believe that was a ball. And no, that is a strike, so it's 0-1, and this is hit on the ground to short. Greg not able to get to it.
E6.
And that'll be...
So Millwood's been about 78 to 80 on the fastball. I'm proud of the kid. I've been watching him for 3 years. He's never broke 77, 78. So for him to start climbing, touching the 8-0. And again, I look at the body and I think if I could put 20 pounds on this kid, he might be a mid-8s arm, especially with the craft, right? He's got that craftiness to him.
Yep.
And this is what we talked about a little bit with him in the pregame. Like, he's going to get all 105 pitches because of these situations. Like, he's going to put runners on at times and work out of it.
Millwood's first pitch is high to Carter Austin. Austin, the 9 hitter in the lineup. Both pitchers have put men on base with 2 down in their respective innings. Millwood with a bit of a jam here as Austin swings through that. Evens the count at 1.
I know there's 2 outs, but he's a good bunter. It might not be a bad time to force something. I'd push.
Was even at the bag at third. does not show bunt, hits the ball in the air to left center field. Racing to his right is Rayborn, who will make the play, and the inning comes to a conclusion. So, no runs or hits, one error, 2 men left on base. We've played 2, Chase 1, R-S Central nothing. Hey fans, stay connected on social media with Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. Like and subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/@BB University WNC. Like us on Facebook at Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. Follow us on Twitter and X and Instagram at BB University WNC. Check out our website at baseball.org.
Kenny, what do you think about social media? Let's say I'm still, I don't know. I know we need it because you got to let people know, right?
So I'll tell you a story about how I gathered news years ago.
Okay.
I had subscriptions to 4 or 5 newspapers delivered to my house. And now I still have subscriptions. It's totally different now because I'll either pay a fee for a newspaper or I'll go on Twitter and follow columnists that way. So I'm doing the same thing, just a little bit differently.
X, I was to say, X is something where you can truly refine your algorithm to what your thing is, right? So in our case, it's baseball, but like, let's say you were into food, right? Cooking. Let's say you're into, like my brother-in-law loves reptiles, like herpetology, right? Like there's a Twitter rabbit hole for everyone. So I will give Twitter that. I don't know about Instagram. That's the one that I'm just like, what is this? What do I do with this? You know, but you know, we got followers and we seem to be doing okay. So,
and here is Nate Thomas to the plate. Thomas walked his last time up. Baseball's inside.
Say Nate's definitely looking to play college baseball. He's a good athlete. Again, we'll be doing some film work with him here come June. We still got to get his position player films done, but keep an eye out for Nate Thomas over the next year.
Fastball painted the outside edge. Now it's a 1-2 count, the offering. Outside for a ball. 2-2 to the leadoff hitter, Nate Thomas, in a 1-0 ball game. And that's fouled straight back. Good cut by Thomas. Still 2-2.
Is that wind still whipping pretty fierce right to left field? I mean, a right-handed hitter gets one up in the wind tunnel tonight. That might go.
Yep. 2-2 pitch again. That's inside, full count. Too many full counts for.
I'll say at this rate, Hopper's going to be out of this inning or out of this game in the 4th or 5th inning with the pitch count. So he's going to have to lock in. Now, I will say I haven't really seen a lot of hard hit balls against him. So if you're the catcher, Holly, you're probably just telling your pitcher, like, hit my mitt, buddy. Like, let him hit it.
By the way, I want to remind everybody, third inning sponsor is presented by our friends at American Legion, proud sponsor of Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. Here to remind you that Legion is back, and our best players in WNC should be planning to try out in early April for Junior and Senior Legion. Post 70 is also looking for new members. If you're a veteran, consider coming out to Post 70 in Asheville.
Hey, I'll give you those exact tryout dates here. Coach Decker posted them on the Post 70 American Twitter account the other day. So let me go ahead and find those for you here.
And while you're doing that, a reminder, this mound visit is presented by Ion Outdoors.
Get a pool. Get an outdoor backyard, or what do they call outdoor kitchen.
Pool after today, but after yesterday and Monday.
I think I'm more of a hot tub guy than I am a pool guy.
Well, I was this winter, but I'll tell you not anymore.
What did I tell you? I said mountain hot tub.
I'll say this past winter would have been awesome. So, yeah, there's tryouts. The junior and senior, they're going to do junior and senior tryouts on March 28th. 3:30 is the senior, 5:30 is the junior.
And the first pitch to Noah Craig is a strike.
Now, after that March 28th date, they'll have 2 more dates, one for junior, one for senior. The senior will be April 12th at 2 o'clock at Asheville, and then the junior will be April 26th at Reynolds at 3:30. That'll actually be after the state game trial, so all you underclassmen should be planning to try out for state games. It's a huge event for college recruiting that happens in June. It showcases the best high school town in each region.
Craig with a swing and a miss, and now it's 1-2 to Noah.
And even though the Rutherford County teams left the Mountain Foothills 7, they are still part of Region 8, so they are kind of like a mountain team in that regard.
There's one hit to the right side of the infield. McDaniel only has one play, quick throw to first in time.
That was a nice quick transfer. Nice job by Lovin to stay low and take that hard throw from probably, 30 feet away, 25 feet away?
Yeah, he only had one play, and that was the first, and he had to make it quickly, and he did. Here the center fielder, Matthew Rayborn, he struck out to end the first inning. We are playing the visitors' third, and the Trojans with a 1-0 lead. Only one hit on the board. A ball has not been hit out of the infield. First pitch is outside. A potpourri of walks for both teams.
I'm looking for Matthew Rayburn. These are the type of situations Matthew Rayburn's got to step up in. He was our CamWood Bats player of the game last year in the matchup versus Polk.
Fastball's high, 2-0.
Actually, that might have been 2 years ago. But that's the funny thing about this senior class of the Trojans. They've been on varsity now for 3 or 4 years. Like, they've been taking their licks for a couple seasons, but they look like they're primed for a good senior breakout.
Here's a pitch on the inside edge. That's a strike. Good location there. 2-1 to Rayborn.
But if Chase is going to take the next step and be a playoff contender, these players like Rayburn have to step up in these types of situations. Now, if they walk him, that's good. But if he gets a pitch to hit here, he can't miss. They need their middle of the order hitters to start putting up some extra base potential.
Good hitters count here at 3-1. Hopper's set, he'll fire. Ooh, high and tight. That's ball 4.
Not even close. How many walks is that now?
That is, I was about to count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the 6th walk, and we are only in the 3rd.
For Hopper or both teams? Or
for Hopper. But look at the scoreboard.
Yeah.
There's only a 1 up there for Chase.
Needs a ground ball here. Again, his fastball has been steady between 80 and 84 miles per hour, so the heat ain't the problem.
Sawyer Waugh takes the pitch in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. 2 on, 1 out. Top of the 3rd, and Chase with a threat here. Austin Hopper will fire, and that is high and away.
He doesn't look comfortable right now. It looks like he's almost getting feelsy with it, like his front side is opening up a little bit. He's trying to push that ball. He just needs to let go. Oh, Coach Fowler pointing to the bullpen.
Trip to the mound, presented by Ion Outdoors, and is this it?
Yep. Man, that's crazy because it's such a close game. It's so early right now. Again, we mentioned that RS has not lost at home to Chase in 15 years. You can almost feel a little tension, but you look at that scoreboard, it's like second inning or top of the 3rd is 1-0. So still so much ball game. We'll see who Coach turns to next. Final line for Hopper. Say he's responsible for all the runners on, but at the moment.
So right now, 2 1/3. He has given up 1 hit, 6 walks, 2 strikeouts. If these runners don't score, he's given up 1 run. And the new pitcher is going to be Harrison Coffey.
I believe, did Harrison pitch in the game Tuesday? Okay, so his pitch count was under, because I knew he pitched Tuesday. I didn't know if we'd see him today, but I've heard good things about Harrison. He's stepped up a lot this year to fill some important innings. son of a former Major League Baseball pitcher, Todd Coffey. So, I mean, you know, he's well taught. What he's going to need to do here, pitch to contact, because your R-S Hilltopper teammates are flat-footed right now and waiting for something to happen. So if Coffee can come in here and get a ground ball or a pop-up, just let your infielders play behind you a little bit. It could still be 1-0 here with the Hilltoppers looking to strike in their half of the inning.
Chase has a golden opportunity here in the third to deliver a body blow, if you will. 2 on, 1 out. And again, a hitter's count 2-0 will be the count to Sawyer Waugh.
A crooked number would be huge here for Chase, and it's got to be a senior to step up here soon. Someone's got to make a loud swing. Coffee, big body. Looks like he could put on some more weight too, big frame. Now, Coach Fowler, I know you were reading stats for Chase. It's always nice to have the stats available, but most coaches aren't putting them in max preps nowadays. I don't blame them. I didn't want my opponents to know anything about my team. However, for broadcasting purposes, we would
now you have a
some
different
stats.
opinion.
What's that?
Now you have a different opinion.
Well, I feel it, though. If I went back to coaching today, I would not put my stats in max prep. But that's just because I'm that type of coach. You know, I want as much of an advantage as I can have, right? Because if I'm playing Chase, I'm probably going to be looking through those stats a little bit, trying to correlate them to the talent you've played. You know, like where are those stats coming from? Did you get 3 hits against an 0-10 team, you know? And I think if you look at teams like T.C. Robertson and Asheville and Justin King at North doesn't, West Henderson, none of them put their stats in because they don't want you to know anything about them.
Here comes the 3-1. And that is high for ball 4. They're loaded.
Say Coffee comes in, sticks with the theme.
Place on balls, loads the bases. That brings to the plate the designated hitter.
Here comes Zach Branch, the DH.
Zach also a senior, very senior-heavy lineup today. I think it's 7 seniors in the Chase starting lineup, I believe. Thomas is a junior.
This is cued foul, third base
And
side.
I think Hodge is a sophomore, but I think everybody else in that lineup today is a senior.
Coffee ready the pitch. Oh, we got some help there. Branch chased the pitch out of the strike zone. It's now 0-2. Harrison Coffee ready again. He'll fire. That's upstairs. Thomas at third. Rayborn is at second. Waugh is at first. They're loaded for Chase here in the top of the third inning.
Not a bad waste pitch there if he came back with the curveball next. Not the location I would have done. Missed outside with that fastball earlier. You come with that backdoor curveball next.
And now the count's even 2-2.
Got to pitch the contact here. Cannot afford
Gotta
another
throw a strike
3-2.
here, no doubt. That is a little high and in. And Coffee did not like that call, and somebody is barking at the plate umpire about that as well.
Well, Canio, from where I'm standing, didn't look like a bad pitch.
This pitch way high and in. That's ball 4. That'll force in another run. It's 2-0 Chase.
So Coffee's fastball about 76 to 78. It don't matter how fast it is if it's not in the zone. That's an RBI walk.
So we've had a fielder's choice RBI.
No, it was a single.
It was a single, an infield single.
Infield single. And then an RBI bases loaded walk. We saw an RBI bases loaded hit by pitch last night as well. So it's high school baseball.
And the bases are still loaded for the visitors. Henry Hodge takes a pitch a little bit high.
I was talking to Coach Fowler before the game. I told him I feel like this is a deep team. Like he's got more depth than he's had in a while. but they don't have a large senior class. Sometimes that can be the difference when it comes to pressure situations. So with Chase having the senior advantage, we talked about that in the pregame, they may just have that extra bit of confidence right now.
Yep. And they've got a great opportunity here. They lead 2-0. Here's a fastball away, and the count is now 3-1 to Henry Hodge, the second baseman.
Henry, the only sophomore in the lineup, and one of only 2 underclassmen.
Here's the 3-1. Slam to left. Backing up and making the play is Henson, and he throws it in quickly. No tag at third base.
Man, I mean, I know it was hit hard off the bat, but you got to get back to third base and get into a position to score, because that could have been an RBI and a 3-0 lead. I was going to say, might watch the replay here on Hunter's. So watching the replay here, yeah, he did not go back. He just didn't get back early enough, so he wasn't comfortable. You don't think so? So Hunter says he was wise not to go. I'm probably sending him, but I also, when I was a head coach, I probably set the record for most runners thrown out at home. I was just sending everybody.
An aggressive third base.
Oh my
coach.
Lord,
I
I would get guys thrown out by like half a mile.
0-2 to McGinnis now. That's upstairs, 1-2 the count. They're still loaded for Chase. A run across on a bases loaded walk, but that's been the only run that has come plateward. The 1-2. That's into left. That's the first ball hit out of the infield. 1 run is in. Here comes the second. Wall will score as well. 2 across on that hit by McGinnis. It's 4-0 Chase.
I hope Henson's all right out there in left field. After that throw, he went down quick. Like I saw his knee buckle, and he just went straight to the ground. 2 bad nights in a row for left fielders. We saw the left fielder from Mountain Heritage get taken off the field on a gator. Mason Silvers had a knee injury there yesterday, and now Henson out in left field trying to figure out the stability of his left knee, it looks like. But, man, what a hit there for McGinnis. A 2 RBI single makes it 4-0, and CHASE Trojans. Who hit that? Oh, is that let's make sure we get this right. Hauser, you mean? Hauser batting, so
McGinnis is who got that hit.
is that Chase McGinnis?
Yeah.
Number 20.
12. Unless they change the lineup on us. And
McGinnis is number 12.
they're going to bring a new left fielder into the ball game.
Number 8.
Jake McDaniel is going to take over in left field.
I don't know. Can you not freaking suck it up?
So we got a little bit of movement out here. So left fielder is going to be, so second baseman Jake McDaniel moving out to left field. Is that what we see?
Yes.
And then who's going to second base? Number 17? We don't have a number 17. Who do y'all got for number 17 on your line?
17 is Bryce Wellman. He's a sophomore.
Bryce Wellman?
Yes.
Bryce Wellman. So we got to write in Bryce Wellman.
So Wellman takes over at second. And Wellman will hit in Henson's spot. In the number 8 slot in the lineup. Meanwhile, it's 4-0.
Now playing for the Trojans, left field, number 9.
Austin Hopper's line is complete. 2 1/3 innings, a hit, 4 runs, all earned, 6 walks, 2 strikeouts. as Ethan Hauser takes the first pitch for a strike, and here comes the next offering to him. And now he's behind in the count, 0-2.
All right, so who did you say is the first base now? He's saying
Holland.
Holland. So who was hitting?
Holland was hit. He's one who got the hit. Oh, running?
No, we're trying to figure out who got the hit. You said Holland. So did he pinch hit for McGinnis?
No, McGinnis.
Here's a ball hit up the middle, and the diving play to second base is made by shortstop Austin, and the inning is over. 8 men come to the plate, 3 score in the inning. On only 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left on base. 4-0 Chase as we go to the bottom half of the third inning. And we want to thank our in-game sponsors, Ion Outdoors, Chad McMahon State Farm Insurance, Granning Landscapes Incorporated, Hauling Solutions and Grading, Burlett Painting, CamWood Bats, and Next Level Baseballs.
Yeah, so what they represent, so you'll be hearing them all day.
I'll remove you like that.
Meanwhile, a 4-0 lead.
Here, double check this line. This is what they got. I want to make sure that we got all our hitters right here. So number 7 hitter McGinnis, number 8 Holland, number 9 Hauser. So we do got to switch these guys. Hodge is being DH for. That's what's going on. So Branch is hitting for Hodge.
Okay.
So we'll switch that around. Now, the good news is all the lines are right. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, scorebook update. So, again, number 7 hitter is Chase McGinnis. So Branch is 6. Branch is DHing for Hodge. Hodge is at second base. So Hodge is not hitting in the game.
Okay, so it's not Hodge. So it's not
hitter
Hodge.
is McGinnis. 8th is Gage Holland, and 9th is Ethan Hauser. So all the stats are still right now. The names are all lined up.
All right. Some technical difficulties.
So, yeah, that was Gage Holland that had the big hit. So, shout out to Gage. I think we gave credit to Chase on that. So, you know, Chase would feel good about himself and all, but all right, bringing it back. Sorry about that.
Bottom of the third, and there's a hard hit ball foul down the third baseline.
All right, we're in the 4th inning here. I want to shout out Nova X Kinectics. Again, Anthony Payne has been doing a great job here in Western North Carolina with teaching our arms about physicality, velocity, recovery, good routines. He's been infusing data analytics and biomechanics, trying to help players reach all their best or reach their potential. And I'll tell you, we've seen a lot of 80 to 90 mile per hour arm jumps under Nova X Kinectics. So again, if you're looking to take a jump to the next level, coach is offering in-house and remote training options for high school and college level athletes. So look up Nova X Kinectics today. That's new school data and old school grit.
Here's another ground ball foul down the third baseline. Ryan Holly, Zane Lovin, Carter Cobb, the first 3 for the Hilltoppers here in the bottom of the third.
So how about those Trojans up 4-0?
And that is a called strike 3. Holly retired 1 down here in the home third for Zane Lovin. That is the 4th strikeout for Landon Millwood.
Just remember, all those called strike 3s brought to you by Burlett Painting, painting the corners with Burlett. So we had the RBI infield single by Millwood. We had the RBI walk by.
Let's see here. That occurred by the pitcher Landon Millwood.
Millwood walked with the bases
Yes,
loaded
he did
too,
in the second
got 2
inning.
RBIs. I say with Millwood, I know he had the infield single. Then we had the bases loaded walk, and there was
Greg Holland. Was that the name? Holland?
Yep.
Gage Holland.
Gage Holland
Gage
with the
Holland had
single that brought home too.
The big 2 RBI single, and that's where we stand here. RS still no hits. So
Greg Holland is former MLB pitcher.
Greg Holland played at McDowell, and then he went to Western, I believe, right? He was at Western, and then he went to the Royals. Who else did he pitch for? He's a Major League All-Star too, I believe.
He was in the majors for a couple of years. Yeah,
I think he made an All-Star team. So 4-0 here in the bottom of the third. Still plenty of time for the Hilltoppers to get back in this one.
And there's a ball hit well to left center field, and it's going to drop and go to the wall. And Zane Lovin is standing at second base with a double. First hit of the ball game. Announcer jinx. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan.
That's how we make things happen. We just sit up here and jinx.
Carter Cobb.
Here comes Carter Cobb to the plate. Walked his last time up. 4-0 chase. Fastball misses away. 1-0. Breaking ball, and that's going to be fouled. First base side out of play. That wind is still briskly blowing out in center field from right field to left field. Another foul ball, first base side, 1-2 to Carter Cobb. Good opportunity here for the home squad.
I'm able to.
1-2 is going to hit to the right side of the infield. Pitcher has to cover, and out at first is Cobb.
Good PFP there by Landon Millwood getting over his bang, but I think he was there. Hunter's going to check the replay like he always does. He'll let us know here soon. And I love having Canio here today because I've been able to make some updates on social media and send out some score updates, and hopefully that's helping us find some more concurrent viewers. So if you're watching the game at home, tell your friends, tell your family, send them the link.
Two down for Landon Whitley. First pitch is away, 1-0.
All right, Hunter, what do you think? You don't know? Is it bang? We got to go to New York. All right.
You can't see from that angle. Let's go to the wide arm.
This pitch is going to get by the catcher Thomas, and here comes the first run for R-S Central. Wild pitch, scores Lovin.
Say Lovin is loving that. He's jumping up and down there trying to get his teammates fired up, and that's a good senior right there, trying to let his fellow Hilltoppers know that we ain't done yet. Landon Whitley, love this kid. He's got a lot of pop in the bag. Still got to figure out how to get it out of there sometimes, but he's got some barrel action.
On the ground to Hodge at second. He'll field it so high, and safe at first is Landon Whitley. High throw. That'll be an E4.
It was a good call by the umpire. I'm just not really sure why Hodge felt the need to fire that ball so hard. Like, he had some time. It was going to be close, but I think just a quick under-control throw gets it done. He came up firing that thing, and it just sailed wide. I think McGinnis is lucky to even grab that, to be honest.
And it's a 2-out base runner for Brody Fowler, who hits the ball on the ground to second. Another try. Oh, and it's misplayed by Hodge. Everybody's safe.
So the young second baseman's feeling a little bit out there, back-to-back E4s. But he just needs to take a deep breath and be ready for the next one. So I bring Nathan Tang up, the big Tang theory. Again, if there was a crooked number to be had this inning, it's going to be at the hands of Nathan Tang, who has the ability to send that ball to or over the fence.
Why is it the ball finds you?
Baseball
so many
gods.
Times when you're struggling a little bit. Oh, here's a foul ball that goes off the mask of Thomas.
Are unforgiving. It would be suiting
it would be fitting if another ground ball made its way to second base here, but I don't think it's the baseball gods trying to be angry at this point. I think it's the baseball gods trying to give you an opportunity to balance it out, find some equilibrium. You got to want that ball hit to you, kids. Even if you make an error, you got to want that next one hit to you.
Here's the 0-1. A little bit low and away. 2-1 now to Tang. Whitley at second, Fowler at first, 2 down, bottom of the third. It's a 4-1 game. Oh, what a great block there by catcher Thomas. 3-1 now the count to Tang with McDaniel on deck.
Say Nathan Thomas went all the way to the end of the left-handed batter's box to snag that one.
What? That's 3-1, 2-1.
Here's a pitch that's a little bit high. Now it's 3-1.
So I always like watching our catchers work hard back there. So we'll mention that BH Granning glove work. Still wish we found a masonry to do like specific block work for catchers. So if there's any masonry businesses out there interested in being the catcher block work sponsor, hit us up.
And the 3-1 is going to be high. That's ball 4. Third walk surrendered by Landon Millwood. And here's Jake McDaniel. He reached on a walk his last time up. First pitch is high, 1-0.
McDaniel now in left field as well, I believe, after that injury to, I think it was Henson out there.
McDaniel is now in left field. Yes, sir. 1-0, smash to center. Racing in, and a diving catch. Yes, sir, it is.
What a
play. Grab by Matthew Rayborn. And that ends the threat for the Hilltoppers.
That shows you how electric Matthew Rayburn can be. He can do it in all facets of the game. He's electric. Again, needs to be refined a little more, but man, what a play out there in center field. That's a big-time candidate for our next-level play of the game.
And if that ball gets by him,
that's trouble.
Yeah, 2 or 3 runs are going to score. In the third, 1 run, 1 hit, 2 errors, and the bases left loaded. We go to the fourth. It's 4-1 chase.
And I'll tell you, that's definitely some BH Granning glove work out there by Rayburn. So huge play. Canio said it. That ball gets past him. It's a 4-3 game. But here we are, 4-1, and Harrison Coffey's got a little bit more room to breathe. Heading back out for his first full inning of work with no runners on base after relieving Hopper in the top of the third. So heading to the bottom, or heading to the top of the fourth now. It's 4-1.
What do you want to see from Harrison Coffey now here in the fourth inning?
Strikes. I mean, you just saw Hopper throw 6 walks in his start, and then Coffey came in and walked 2 of his own. Was it, or just 1? But if you're Coffey, you got to come back and get strike 1. Get strike 1. Again, these Chase Trojans are going to be pesky, but there's not a ton of extra base power in this lineup. Go after them until they beat you, because it may be 4-1, but there's only been 3 games total in this, or 3 hits total in this game.
Landon Millwood will lead things off, and he's going to hit a line drive that is caught by the shortstop Austin. 1 down, and that'll bring up Nate Thomas. Youth, high school, and college pitchers, are you trying to take the next step in your player development? Nova X Kinetics is directed by Anthony Payne. Coach Payne has worked with several WNC pitchers in the past few seasons, helped them make major jumps in their physicality, velocity, and overall athletic performance. By infusing data, analytics, and biomechanics, Coach Payne is trying to help pitchers get the most out of their potential. If you are looking to make strides in your pitching performance, get with Coach Payne at Nova X Kinetics ASAP. He offers in-house and remote training options for high school and college level athletes. Nova X Kinetics, new school data, old school grit.
Yeah, Coach Payne's been on all the high school baseball too. He's been tracking a lot of his arms, and if they put up good performances, I've seen him putting up some social media graphics to celebrate them. So we appreciate Coach Payne, Nova X, bringing attention to our best players here in the mountains.
One of his pupils, Carter Burnett, who's now a sophomore, I believe, at Western, he was just chosen as the SoCon Pitcher of the Week. So, again, Coach Payne's a humble man. I'm sure he's going to let Carter take all get all the love there. But just remember, behind a lot of these good pitchers is Coach Payne teaching them proper recovery, proper workouts, proper health. When we were young, you just woke up and picked the ball out of the bucket and started throwing it. But nowadays, these kids have
It's a lot different
science.
now. Yeah, absolutely. Thomas walks his third of the night. And here is Noah Craig, who's now got a 2-0 count on him. Nate Thomas, who's at first base, walked in the first, second, and third, and now fourth innings. Here's a pitch that is over for a strike.
On pace for a 7-walk game. OBP's
We're only in the fourth. That's slapped foul. Counts 2-2.
Say Noah enjoyed working with him on his college recruiting. He's a good little athlete. Came out and did some film with us back in the fall. Got him hooked up with Coach Campbell and Coach Adcock over at New River. He's going to find a role up there. Strikes out here.
And he's the second out of the fourth inning. And here's Matthew Rayborn. Rayborn struck out swinging in the first, walked, scored a run in that 3-run third. It's 4-1. Chase with the lead. This is right back to the box. Coffey's got it. Underhand flip the first, and the inning comes to a conclusion.
So it was an easy cup of joe there for Coffey.
How about that? Look at you. No runs, hits, or errors. A man is left on base. Oh, the comedy. We got Don Rickles right here.
I like the comedy of I like the comedy of that Chase visiting dugout falling apart earlier during that JV game. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Bottom of the fourth, we go 4-1 Chase. And we want to thank the following businesses who are R-S Central sponsors tonight, supporting the time put toward marketing the game to college coaches, pregame and editing, and posting highlights for the R-S Central Hilltoppers prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media, and that's our friends at Sakura Japanese Cuisine. They're in Spindale on West Main Street. They're in Forest City on South Broadway Street, and they are in Hendersonville on Spartanburg Highway. Again, thank you to Sakura Japanese Cuisine.
Yeah, big thank you. They hooked us up with some food up here, and man, I'll tell you, if you're looking for something other than your typical like burger or pizza, man, you got to get with Sakura. Get some cultured cuisine in your life. So I'll tell you what, sushi, man, I'll do that any day. Thai food, any day. Japanese, any day. But anyway, we were talking about that JV game when this fence in front of the dugout just toppled down. We were joking earlier, but it ain't no joke. If this were any other play, if this were like Buncombe County, they would have shut the game down. Probably had to, figure out 5-6 bids, get that whole process going to figure out who's going to pay for it, who's going to get the job, make sure nobody's emotionally scarred after the fence fell down. But here in Rutherford County, well, we got it fixed in 10 minutes? We had people showing up with welding gear, pipe cutters, and tack welded the thing together, and now got the whole dang team leaning against the fence again with no problem. So that's mountain and foothill, ingenuity and grit. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why we do what we do. We love celebrating our communities out here, not our neighborhoods. Hunter got me out of that habit, calling it neighborhoods.
Here is Bryce Wellman to start things off for the Hilltoppers.
What's that?
Trailing 4-1 here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
So this is the first ever varsity at bat for number 17. What's our number? He's not even on the roster.
And Wellman takes the first pitch for a strike.
What's the name again?
Bryce Wellman.
He was the one that came in at second?
Yes.
Bryce. How do you spell the last name?
W-E-L-L-M-O-N.
One more time.
W-E-L-L.
1-1 now to Bryce.
M-O-N.
WELLMON. That's this guy's last name. This was the gentleman that took over for the left fielder that came out.
Here's the ball hit on the ground to short. It's bobbled by Craig. The throw, and not in time.
Well, first varsity AB, he reaches on an E6. He'll take it.
Take it. We'll take it.
I'll say Coach Fowler, the whole team will take it right now. They need base runners.
That is the first leadoff base runner for the Hilltoppers tonight.
Number 4.
And that'll bring up Carter Austin. He flew out to center to end the second.
Now, as strong as Millwood has been pitching,
He's around a bunt, and the first pitch is high for a ball, 1-0.
there's been 4 errors behind him tonight. So no errors up there for R-S, who's behind in this game, but 4 for the Trojans, so a little lucky.
Shows bunt, and he's going to bunt it foul.
So I guess the nemesis tonight is walks for R-S, but errors for Chase. We'll see how it all balances out.
Failed the least.
Yes, that was our key to the game last night for the Mountain Heritage Madison game was fail the least, right?
Does Austin bunt again here? No, he does not. He pops it up a mile high. Who wants it? Center fielder Rayborn calls everybody off and makes the play.
2 hands. I like that.
We go back to the top of the lineup.
We saw a couple drops this week, especially in that cold game on Tuesday, where fundamentally we weren't using 2 hands. So sometimes the little things never disappear in this great game of baseball.
Here's the catcher, Rylan Holly. They throw to first base, and diving back in safely is Wellman. Holly
Pickoff.
flew to center and struck out looking. That occurred in the third. Another throw to first. And again, Wildman is back safely. Fastball's upstairs. 4-1 Chase with the lead. The Hilltoppers have got a runner at first and 1 down in the inning.
We were bragging on Holly's defensive prowess in the pregame, but he's got some pop in the bat too.
This is hit again a mile high. Shortstop Craig makes the play. 2 down in the inning.
2 hands again.
Gotta like that. Here's Zane Lovin.
Say this is where Millwood, he's settling in now at that 75, 76 mile per hour fastball. Again, he touched an 80 earlier in the game, but he's not trying to blow it past any of these kids. He's just trying to mix and match, keep them off balance just enough.
Scorched fair down the third base line. It'll be extra bases. Wellman gets the stop sign at third, runs through it, has to hustle back to third base. A double for 11.
Loaded with a double down left field line.
I'll say the young sophomore there wanted it, though. He came around that bag hard. Coach Fowler's almost there to bear hug him. He said, no. We got to protect these runners. That's an automatic out.
Number 7, Carter Cobb.
Here's the tying run at the plate in Carter Cobb.
It's good pressure situation here to test the young Cobb. His bat's been coming to
First
life.
pitch,
a
a
little bit
strike.
more this year.
Must have painted the edge. 0-1 to Carter Cobb. This ball is cued right side of the infield, fielded by second baseman Hodge. Throw to first in time, and the inning is over.
Hey, the baseball guys wanted to give Hodge one more try there, and he came through.
Third time the charm for Mr. Hodge. In the inning, no runs, a hit, an error, 2 left on base. 7 left on base for the Hilltoppers. As we go to the 5th, 4-1 Chase. And for the best coverage and content of Western North Carolina baseball, visit our Patreon at patreon.com/BB University WNC. Here you'll find conference previews, preseason and playoff predictions, power rankings, players of the week, podcasts, highlight films, and much more. Memberships start at $1, $1, and all the money raised stays here, right here in WNC. Support Mountain Baseball. Well, another inning of work for Harrison Coffey. Coffey came into the ball game in the third. That was the frame where Austin Hopper had all kinds of trouble getting out of the inning, and he left after giving up 4 runs in 2 1/3 innings. Coffey pitched the 4th, and now he will pitch the 5th. And he will face the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for Chase, and beginning with Sawyer Waugh, the third baseman, who grounded out and walked and scored a run doing that in the third. First pitch from Coffey, breaking ball that's over for a strike. Here's the 0-1, another one. Same pitch, same result. Now it's 0-2.
Well, I appreciate Canio being here. It's really freed me up a little bit.
As this ball is hit to left and deep, and it is off the wall. That's in play. Having trouble picking it up is the left fielder McDaniel, and the throw to third base will not be in time. Standing at third is going to be Waugh. He's got a double, and that might be an E7 on that play.
What happened out there?
Ball was bobbled out there by the left fielder McDaniel.
I'll say, because I looked up and I was shocked to see Waugh motoring around second, so there must have been a bobble out there. So what is our official? Is it a double with the E7 or is it a triple?
I think it's a double and an E7.
Write it down. I'm fine with that. I'm stingy when it comes to errors, so put it on the board.
Infield has to come in for R-S Central. There's a foul tip held onto by catcher Holly. Zach Branch is behind in the count, 0-1.
Well, I was in the middle of saying I'm appreciative of you being here because it allows me to send some updates out on the social media. So I've been reposting on Twitter, letting people know the score, seeing if late viewers want to come in and watch this rivalry game. Again, Chase trying to win at RS for the first time since 2011.
Here's a ball hit on the ground. It'll sneak through. A base hit. Branch with a single, give him an RBI.
That is
it's a 5-1 ball game.
Clutch piece of hitting. Chase is getting loud, as they should. This is a big moment for them. If they can take 2 from RS, that would be a huge upset here early in conference play. Chase, again, looks like they have their best group of young athletes together since that 2023 squad.
Here's a ground ball foul. Third base side, hit by
I still expect this
Chase
game
McGinnis
being very close. I do not think Coach Fowler and the Hilltoppers are going to go quietly here. But in the meantime, Coffey has to knuckle down here, get a ground ball double play or something to bring the momentum back towards the Hilltoppers.
That pitch called a strike, low strike, 0-2 the count. That's high and in. 1-2 now the count.
For any fans out there listening, if you have some updates for us, I've been scrolling through Max Preps just a little bit. I've seen that Owen and Avery played today, but I don't see a score yet. I know Avery's been playing a lot better baseball this year.
Swing and a miss.
Big upset. Well, not really an upset. It's kind of what me and Hunter predicted in the beginning of the season. The Western Highlands are going to be beating up on each other. Mitchell taking out Polk tonight, 8-5. That's a big win for Mitchell because I think they're only, 2-6 or something? It's a doubleheader between the two? Oh, Lordy. See, Murphy, 13-1 over Hiawassee Dam. Lincoln Charter with a shutout in their easy conference.
The 1-0 late swing by Gage Holland.
This is Holland. This is where we got turned around the lineup that one inning.
Holland had that single that brought home 2 the last time up. Snap throw to first. Branch back safely. A run across for Chase, who now leads 5-1. We are in the top of the 5th inning.
Well, Hunter, Andrews and Robbinsville, what do you think?
Andrews definitely won.
They won 5-4. Andrews stays undefeated. Hunter wants them ranked. I think their schedule has been awfully weak.
You won a third of your games. You should be ranked.
Half of those games were against the school of the. Oh, I don't know. I can fill in the blank there. Hayesville 7-0 over Cherokee. So a lot of small school games.
It's funny because I'm anti-Miami, Ohio, but I'm ranked Andrews. So.
I'll tell you what.
Not a fan of the underdogs, huh?
Well, I'm not. I'm very biased to the Smoky Mountain Conference. Runner goes here.
The throw to second is on a bounce. Good scoop there, but the runner is safe.
I think that's our young sophomore there at second. Wellman, was it?
Yeah.
Wellman with the nice little scoop there.
Now batting number 9, Ethan Hauser.
Holland strikes out looking. 2 down in the inning for Ethan Hauser, who fouls the first
A little
pitch
biased
off.
to the Smoky Mountain Conference. Like, I think Hayesville last year had a heck of a team. There's some good players. Like, there's a kid on Murphy, Zach Hoxton, who can pitch pretty well. There's a kid on Swain, Will Holden, pretty good arm. Jackson Sellers, I think, is the best player in the Smoky Mountain for Hayesville. But overall, like, when those teams play the Mountain 8 teams, they usually get beat by about 8, 9, 10 runs. So when I see Andrews winning, that's great, but they're playing small little community schools. They're playing some small Christian schools. One was the IC Dream Academy or something. It's like, no offense, but, like, those aren't exactly powerhouse baseball teams.
No offense.
If I can go out and throw, like, 5 shutout innings against a team, they shouldn't,
There's a ball hit to short, and they're going to call interference on the runner going from second to third.
Didn't matter. Carter made
The throw to first was in time. The inning is over.
Yeah,
So in the frame, let me just give you this real quick.
You're good, go ahead.
1 run in the inning on a hit, an error, and 1 man is going to be left on base. 5-1 Chase with the lead. And reminder, we want to thank the following businesses who are Chase sponsors tonight, supporting the time put toward marketing this game to college coaches. Pre-game editing and posting highlights for the Trojans. Prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media. Coast Guard CWOA, and you can check them out at CWOAUSCG.org. And B&B Wildlife Management. You can find them at 828-231-0249.
Yeah, we appreciate both of them. They've been long-time supporters. Again, Mark Porter, always representing the Coast Guard. You guys remember Mark? He's the father of Tanner Porter, now up at Concord University. He's a big part of that CHASE 2023 championship team. But you got to respect the men and women in uniform and the Coast Guard. Sometimes overlooked a little bit. They're just as important as any other branch of the military, so we appreciate Coast Guard Warrant Officers Association. And then B&B Wildlife. Again, if you're in that Rutherford County or just this foothills mountain region and you got some wildlife that needs to be managed, snakes, beavers, groundhogs,
All right, here we go.
killer bees, like, I don't even know what else is out there. But just look up B&B Wildlife Management. Again, they said the 2 animals that are giving them the most business right now are groundhogs and beavers. Got any beaver problems, guys? It's always a fun question. But I'll tell you what, I remember going camping back in the day. We'd, post up near some of these, like Gunpowder Falls and some of these rivers up in Maryland where I live. And those beavers start smashing their tails on the water at like 3 in the morning. You don't know what the heck is happening out there, you know? Like, I mean, this isn't a campground. We go hiking back in the woods and stuff. And beavers, if they don't want you near them, they start smacking those tails on the water, and you don't. It sounds like bombs getting dropped.
As this pitch is fouled back, we're going down a rabbit hole here.
Rabbit, I mean,
big one.
Well, if we can call
So
B&B Wildlife Management. They can help us find
true.
that rabbit and take care of it for you.
Landon Whitley hits one deep, short, long throw by Craig. Not in time.
Ooh, error or a hit? I don't know. That was a little bit of an ole on the third baseman there. We're saying hit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
I
we're
think it's
saying
a hit.
You're saying it.
Landon Whitley, he's got some good speed. He's out in center field tonight for them, but now at first base. But again, Landon Whitley's still looking for a college home, primarily looking JUCO, but he's open to anything. He wants to study exercise science.
Here's Fowler, and he'll tap one to first, and that is a foul ball.
Foul ball. You need to go foul. Foul.
Home plate umpire did not indicate whether that ball was fair or foul. From our viewpoint, it looked like it was foul, but so 0-1 to Brody Fowler. There's a pitch that is going to be a little bit outside. 1-1 the count. Landon Millwood has put base runners on base in every inning, but he's only given up 1 run and leads this game 5-1. Millwood ready. The pitch, and that's slapped down the third base line out of play.
I mean, that's classic Millwood. Like, it's never going to be quick and easy, but he's just going to labor and keep getting, through and pounding the zone and lull you to sleep with the off speed. And, like you said, he's had base runners in every inning, but it's 5-1. He's got a lead.
Oh, and
You say it hit him?
Fowler got hit. He'll take first base. So 2 on, nobody out. This is a glorious opportunity for the Hilltoppers. Nathan Tang comes to the plate. A strikeout victim in the second. He walked in the third. We are playing the bottom of the fifth. Chase leading R-S Central 5-1. And the first pitch is over for a strike.
Nathan Tang, he wants to play college baseball. He's interested in studying either computer science or exercise science. Good student. I think he's 4.0 plus.
0-1, and that hits him.
I
Tang
like
is
that.
hit by a pitch.
I like that. He's like, fine, I'll take that. He didn't get out of the way at all. I love it. Let that ball hit you.
2 men have been hit by a pitch by Landon Millwood. And the bases are loaded. Time is going to be called.
It's the best opportunity of the night so far for the Hilltoppers.
No job, Jake.
Looking through the max preps during the Ion Outdoors mound visit, we got a final out of Rutherford County. Looks like East Rutherford won 12-1 over West Caldwell. West Caldwell struggles a little bit. Down the road from us in Shelby, you got Stuart Kramer in Shelby playing. Shelby's been struggling a little bit the last couple of years as well. We'll see if Stuart Kramer remains undefeated. East Gaston 9-2 over Bessemer City. South Point and Hunter Huss squaring off. I can probably tell you the winner of that already. Freedom and South Caldwell. That could be interesting, folks. Again, typically you would think South Caldwell is going to win that game based on the past standings, but Freedom's got some good arms this year, and I believe Caden Michaels is probably on the bump for Freedom tonight. We saw him last Friday. He was up to 90 miles per hour. High Brighton and East Burke squaring off. That'll be a good one. Elkin and Ashe County out there in the Mountain Valley, but we'll bring you back here to Chase and R-S.
Here comes the first pitch to Jake McDaniel. And he hits it down the third baseline. Foul ball. They're saying foul ball.
Let's see the replay. Maybe my eyes were deceived. I was in the corner a little bit, but for some reason I thought that looked like it.
We'll see the replay here. Hunter's taking a peek.
Slow down.
Again, Polk County and Mitchell in a doubleheader today. Mitchell winning the first half. They're currently in the second game of that doubleheader. St. Stephen's and McDowell squaring off tonight as well.
Here's the 0-1. That's a curve that's over first strike, 0-2. They are loaded. Whitley is at third, Fowler at second, Tang at first.
So he buckled his knees on the last one. Does he go back to it?
This pitch in the dirt goes all the way to the backstop. R-S Central is going to score another run.
Well, he did go back to the curve, but he didn't have as much of a grip on that one. It's going to be a wild pitch.
Both runs have scored for R-S Central via the wild pitch. The 1-2, and this is fouled at the plate.
Say Millwood's been my favorite for the CamWood Bats player of the game so far with just his battle through the lineup, but things are changing here.
Oh yeah,
he's
in trouble here. The 1-2 upstairs, 2-2.
He does have first base open, but with nobody out, might just want to go right after this batter.
Here's the 2-2. High and in, full count.
Are you ready? You gonna come in?
It freezes sometimes.
I hit it again.
3-2 to Jake McDaniel. Landon Millwood set. The right-hander rocks and deals. That's low ball 4.
Brandon goes to first with the base on balls. That brings to the plate number 17.
And here comes Bryce Wellman.
Well, the baseball gods are going to make the CHASE Trojans earn this one if they're going to break that 15-year streak.
Be big, baby.
Corner infielders are playing even with the bag. First pitch, wide for a ball, 1-0.
Millwood's really lost the feel this inning. He's fallen behind on almost, not behind on this batter, but for the majority of these batters, he's been deep in the count.
And that one is a strike. 1-1 the count now to Bryce Wellman.
Oh, I thought I did fall behind. That scoreboard messed me up for a second. Come on now.
Millwood from the wind-up and the pitch, late swing and a miss. 1-2.
Now maybe, again, this is just the small ball in my style of coaching, but I may have thought about starting this at-bat off with maybe a bunt. Just try to get something going, you know? Like, I know Chase has the lead, but you can tell they're playing a little nervous right now. They're on the edge, you know, they're on their heels a little bit now. This would have been a good opportunity just to see if something can happen by making everybody move, you know. But 1-2 count here, even just putting the ball in play, trying to stay in the middle of the field.
And the 1-2. Fouled back, we'll do it again.
This is a big spot for the young man. Again, he did not start this game. He came in after the injury to Henson in left field.
The 1-2 hit on the ground, deep short. It's stopped. They'll throw to third for the force. Everybody's going to be safe.
I think you got to probably put it in the books as a single. It was deep in the hole.
That is a single and an RBI.
Again, there was no damage on the throw, but I'm probably putting that in the books as a single.
Yeah, that's got to be a single. It can't be
No
an error.
No error. And that's a big moment for the young man who didn't think he'd be playing on varsity tonight. And then through circumstances of the injuries, he finds himself in there getting one of the big swings. It's 5-3 after the Wellman single.
Big cut by Carter Austin. He swings through it, 0-1. Austin has flown out twice to center.
We like Carter. He plays a good shortstop. He's going to be pursuing a welding degree after his high school career is over.
And he takes that pitch high.
He's always been a sure-handed shortstop. I believe they're starting shortstop since his sophomore year. Not going to hit a lot of extra base hits, but he can be pesky. He would have been another one to maybe put a bunt down here.
He's the same one. Is he not the same one throws the big block Tuesday?
2-1 now as that pitch misses wide.
And again, with my pitcher in the windup, I don't hate the idea of a safety squeeze.
That one's over for a strike. Counts even 2-2. Again, they're still loaded. And nobody out. 5 straight have reached safely for R-S Central. That's a little bit outside.
Nice job by Thomas to get over there and block up again.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Little discrepancy in the outfield formation. Looks like the right fielder, very shallow compared to Rayburn and center, is actually shaded a little bit
And
towards
the
left.
3-2 is popped in the infield. That'll be an infield fly roll. So Austin is retired on the pop-up to shortstop Craig. That is the first out in the inning. They're still loaded. We go back to the top of the lineup for Rylan Holly. He is 0 for 3. Flew out to center in the first. Struck out looking in the third. Popped out in the fourth. And the first pitch to him was a little bit high and in. It's a ball 1-0. Landon Millwood.
Starting to get curious about Millwood's pitch count.
Yeah, he's in trouble here in this frame. That one is over for a strike.
Harry. Middle of the batter's box.
Here comes
This
the
will be the
1-1.
100th pitch.
On the ground to third, that's a foul ball.
That was the 100th pitch by Millwood right there. So he may be at his last batter here. Again, the
You
rule
have to think that he's on.
he's going to get all 105. Like every time they're going to give him that. It's fine. That was, we knew that was coming, but we're only in the 5th inning.
Poked out to right field, backing up and making the play is Holland. Tagging from third base is Tang, and he scores.
Wasn't pretty, but Nathan Tang scores a beautiful 4th run.
Second out in the inning.
Next up, number 22, Zane Lovin.
Comes the Berea commit, Zane Lovin. Big spot for the senior here. One he's probably happy to find himself in. He's not afraid of much. So he's a nice kid, good personality, hard worker. He's definitely the guy you want in a spot like this.
He takes the first pitch high for a ball. A 3 spot here in the bottom of the 5th. It's now a 5-4 ball game.
The rule with the pitch count is even if he hits 105, he's in the middle of an at-bat, he can finish that at-bat. So this may be his last batter, even if he touches 105. However, he's going to have to come out immediately after that. So if he retires Lovin for the 3rd out, we'll see a new pitcher next inning. But if Lovin reaches, someone's going to have to come in and relieve him now.
This one's fouled.
And my guess
And it's
Last batter.
And my guess from the look of it, it's going to be somebody who's already in the field because I don't see anybody down in. Do you see anybody in the bullpen down there for them? So I don't see anybody in the bullpen.
It might be a regular, somebody who's in the field. You're right. Next offering, high and in.
My guess would probably be Noah Craig. He's more of a relief arm for them, a little sidearm slinger. Millwood would probably go to short.
Be ready to hit.
Millwood ready. 3-1. On the ground to third. Oh, it's going to get by third baseman Wall. Here comes McDaniel. The throw on the plate's not in time. They're tied at 5.
Huge base running success right there by Jake McDaniel, the young sophomore. Did not let up. Fowler's had the windmill going, thinking his arm was going to fly out of his socket. Never a hesitation. It was one of those choices like if you're sending them, you got to freaking go. Like, there's no hesitation.
And we will have a pitching change right here.
Great send by Fowler. Great slide by McDaniel. Huge blow to the Trojans right there. 5-5. Momentum is in the hands of the Hilltoppers. We'll see if they can get the lead before this inning's out. Ion Outdoors pitching or mound visit. But not sure who's getting the ball just yet. Who is that? Was it Craig that got it? Is it Craig?
It is.
Okay, so Noah Craig coming in. Again, you'll see Craig here. He's got that whippy sidearm, like low 3/4 release. We did some work with him back in October. We got him on the Pitch Logic technology, and he has got some crazy like 3 o'clock spin on that fastball. So if he can keep it in the zone, it's going to be a lot of horizontal break on his stuff, whether it's the fastball riding in on the righties or the slider away. But if he can fill it up, he could probably get out of this inning pretty quickly just from changing to the tall slot of Millwood's to the sidearm slot of Craig. Time for a social media update while you all take this.
And while you do that, I'll remind everybody that 4 runs have come plateward. Landon Millwood gave up a single to Landon Whitley and then hit Brody Fowler and Nathan Tang to load the bases. There was a wild pitch that scored Whitley. McDaniel walked to load the bases again, and then a single by Wellman, a pop out by Austin, and then that error on the ball hit by Lovin scored a run. 4 plateward in the inning, and we're tied at 5 just like that. By the way, stay connected on social media with Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. Like and subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/@BB University WNC. Like us on Facebook at Baseball University of the Blue Ridge, and follow us on X and Instagram. And check out baseballu.org. First pitcher's outside. It is a ball 1-0.
Well, Hunter, I just did another social media update. We'll see if there's any jump in concurrent viewers, especially since it's an exciting post about a tie game.
First pitch to Carter Cobb was a ball outside. The second one, same result. Also outside. 2-0 to Cobb. He is the 9th hitter to come to the plate in the home 5th.
Batting around.
That's a fastball. That is at the knees for a strike.
And y'all can
2-1
probably
to
see
Cobb.
what I'm talking about with Craig's delivery. It's just fast and whippy from that low 3/4 slot. I love that as a pitching coach. I want an arm like that in my bullpen. That's why he's heading up the New River next year.
That's low and away, and now it's 3-1.
They'll have a chance to two-way up there, too. He's definitely going to pitch, but I think New River is still looking for a lockdown shortstop, so Noah will jump into the middle infield mix up there.
The 3-1, that goes out of play. Full count now.
A 3-1 slider there. Some cut to it.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Again, New River Community College, I want to remind you, it's up in Dublin, Virginia, but it's closer to us in Western North Carolina than a lot of the JUCOs in North Carolina State. So definitely a school for y'all to look into.
The 3-2 is wide, ball 4.
Bring to the plate, number 1, Landon Whitley.
Big spot here for Landon Whitley. Landon has got a lot of pop in his bat. He did a prospect film with us a couple years ago down in Cleveland. I want to say it was 96, 97 mile-per-hour exit velocities. He can definitely get into one.
Bases loaded again, and he fouls this one first base side.
He's hoping to study exercise science. I know he's trying to stay a little closer to home. You know, a lot of our good players out here are going to have to open up their minds a little bit to some out-of-the-region schools with how competitive recruiting is getting. Whitley is good enough to play, so if there's anybody, any college coach is still looking for seniors.
Here's a pop-up right side. 3 fielders are there, but it's going to be caught by Henry Hodge. Nice job by Hodge getting that pop out, and that ends the inning. However, 10 men come to the plate, and 4 come across in the inning, and after 5, we are tied at 5.
I'm going to have to say Henry Hodge, Mr. Redemption. There's some 2 nice plays after 2 errors at the second base position. So still all tied up. Oof. Ooh, it's drama in Rutherford County.
They won't let me post the link in Max Prep's comments because of scammers.
Oh, really? That'd be awesome if we could actually.
But you can't.
I'll tell you, I'm a little upset with myself. I've been doing a good job waking up in the morning and posting those WNC scoreboard watch images, but I've failed to do it the last 2 days, sleeping in a little too much after long broadcast evenings. And by the time I'm up, and again, when I say sleeping in, it's like 8:45, so I get up and I'm hitting scripts, but I don't feel too bad about sleeping in a little bit when we're getting home at like 1 in the morning. So.
Couple of notes about that last half inning. With that inning, R-S Central has now left 10 men on base, including the bases loaded twice. 5 runs on the board, but maybe more importantly in this game, 5 errors by Chase.
I was going to say.
And we've got a brand new ball game. Here's a ball hit on the ground to short. Gobbled up there by Austin. The throw to first is wild.
E6.
And reaching safely is going to be Landon Millwood.
If this ends up being a 1-run game, both these coaches will have a narrative. Coach Fowler will probably point to that left on base number, and if Chase ends up losing this game by a run, they're going to be talking about unearned errors or unearned runs with the 5 errors. Both teams only have 4 hits between them. Is that what we got? 4 and 4.
Did I miss one?
It's possible. Actually, we may have called an error a hit an error. We're not the official scorekeepers, but we try to act like we are.
Throw to first base, and Millwood is back as Thomas is now at the plate. And we told you earlier, Thomas has yet to have an official plate appearance. He's walked 3 times.
Gets into one here.
If it's fair, that's gone.
That ball's gone.
It is gone. Smoke to left, a home run for Nate Thomas. A 2-run shot. Chase retakes the lead. It's 7-5.
Nate Thomas, not a big man, but a big swing. He just went yah-yah there. And Chase has got to get right back in that dugout and get focused because this is still a close ball game. Big swing for the Trojans. Again, Trojans trying to rewrite history tonight. They want to end this streak. They want to be able to come in and say, hey, we can beat y'all at your place. Again, with two ABs left for RS, this game is far from over. All right, I'm going to do another social media update.
And we've got do we have a pitching change here or just a mound visit? And indeed, we will have a pitching change. Harrison Coffey's evening is over with. We'll see who the new pitcher is.
It's like the black with like the American thing. Yeah, the American. Oh yeah. R-S.
And by the way, this is a Ion Outdoors mound visit.
Do you know how much money like the black cats are down there?
Big thank you to our friends at Ion Outdoors.
I don't think they're like 20 or 25 maybe.
Here, I'll go look.
I am not certain who the new pitcher is. And it is Xavier Trejo who will come into the ball game, and he'll be the third pitcher of the night.
Number 15, Xavier Trejo.
So Trejo taking his warm-up pitches. And I'm going to add up the
All right. I made another social media update. Keep an eye on those concurrent viewers. Let's see if we get some more people jumping in on this broadcast, knowing that we got ourselves a rivalry game for the ages.
And we got a great game here as Trejo still taking his warm-up pitches. The night over for Harrison Coffey. 2 1/3, 3 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. And let me see on the walks here. 1 walk, 2 walks, 2 walks, and I believe 2 strikeouts. Nope. Coffey.
So is that 8 walks on the evening for both pitchers? Or no, that was
that is 8 for
it was 6 for Hopper.
R-S Central. And we're counting on the fly here. Hang on a second.
Say too many free passes.
2, yes. 2, 3, 4, 5.
While you're counting that up, this is the freshman
blocks.
Trejo. So this was the only freshman that either coach put on the prospect list for the pregame. So our first look at Xavier Trejo, the freshman.
Well, just moments ago, R-S Central had all the momentum in the world by putting a 4 spot on the board and then a bomb hit by Nate Thomas to make it a 7-5 ball game.
Yeah, he got it too, man. I was like right off the bat.
Did not miss it.
So the Chase fans knew it in a good way as they went to their feet. The RS fans all sunk back into their seats a little bit on that one, but still plenty of ball game left here in Rutherford County.
There's a fastball that's a strike.
Trejo, 79, not bad for a freshman.
1-1 to Noah Craig. That's a line drive into right field for a base hit. Played on a hop by Fowler out and right.
78-mile-per-hour fastball, so 78-79 for Trejo. Craig all over that.
That brings to plate number 10, Matthew Rayborn.
Here is Rayborn. Rayborn is 0 for 2, a strikeout victim in the first, walked, scored a run in the third, and tapped back to the pitcher back in the fourth. We are playing the top of the sixth, and it's a 7-5 Chase lead. Here's a foul ball right back to the netting.
So Trejo better make sure he comes set there. I want to get called for a balk. Rayburn was the pitcher of record on Tuesday in their 10-9 win. I'll see if I can pull up a box score.
Pitch in the dirt, 1-1 the count. This has been a wild game tonight. Here from R-S Central. Seeing a little bit of everything here tonight. This one is a strike at the knees. 1-2 the count. Next offering is fouled at the plate. Rayborn just got a piece of it.
So the other night, Rayburn went 105 pitches. He was the pitcher of record. Throw down by Holly.
Oh! That's a strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Man, that's up for the next level baseball play of the game, too. That was an excellent play. I don't know, maybe the home run at this point would be our next level play. We got some good options tonight.
Base is cleared now. Two down.
When Rayburn exited that game, it was Craig that came in and saved it on Tuesday. It's a very similar theme to how this game may play out.
Here's the first pitch, a breaking ball that's a strike.
It was a heck of a throw by Holly. That's exactly what we were talking about in the pregame, that he's just going to shut down the run game.
Foul tip into the mitt of catcher Holly. Trejo a pitch away from getting out of this jam. 0-2. That is fouled back.
Went to the curveball there, spun it in at 65. So that's some good velocity discrepancy from 79 on the fastball, 65 down on the spinner. I say go back to that fastball.
0-2 is high and away.
Still steady, 79. There's probably an 80 in him there somewhere. Again, only a freshman, so you know there's more coming in the young man.
One-two misses wide.
It's funny, he actually hit his spot there. Holly is set up way outside on that fastball. Might be setting up the next pitch.
See if that's the case. Here's the 2-2. And that just missed.
So I know there's nobody on here, but this is still a big pitch for momentum here. You don't want another walk.
Call strike 3. Trejo gets him.
Showing some emotion, too. That's big for R-S. They got to get back in there and score some runs. They got 6 more outs to play with.
So in the frame, 2 runs come across, 2 hits, an error, nobody left on base. Bottom of the 6th we go. And it is a 7-5 Chase lead. And we want to thank our great in-game sponsors, Ion Outdoors, Chad McMahon State Farm Insurance, Granning Landscapes Incorporated, Hauling Solutions and Grading, Burlett Painting, CamWood Bats, and Next Level Baseball. This has been a fun game tonight.
I appreciate you coming and helping add a new dynamic to the broadcast. It's that tough time of game, though, where we got to start figuring out next level plays of the game. I mean, next level play has to be the home run right now. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the clear-cut answer.
Yeah, and if it stands as it is, Nate Thomas is probably your player of the game. However, with 2 full at bats, or 6 total outs, 2 full ABs coming up for RS, they are far from out. Noah Craig's going to be tough, though. The key is stop walking batters. Like, whoever stops walking batters is probably going to end up winning this game.
Noah Craig taking his warm-up pitches.
Coach Fowler with a very determined walk and now a jog out to third base. I know that look. That man is in a baseball game right now.
Number 20, Brody Fowler.
Speaking of Fowlers, here's the kin to Coach Fowler, Brody.
Brody hit by a pitch and scored a run his last time up. First pitch to him is over for a strike.
Wonderful first pitch, going with the backdoor slider. That's a tough one to start with for Fowler. Wind looks like it's finally starting to die down just a tad out there in center. That flag going a little more limp.
Yeah, it was briskly blowing earlier today. Not anymore, though. That's over for a strike.
Man, that's a tough first 2 pitches to have to battle. Again, Noah coming from that lower 3/4 delivery gets a lot of horizontal break on all his pitches, even his fastball.
The 0-2 goes to the backstop.
So it's wearing 1 territory here. Y'all kids got to dig into the box. If you see that ball coming to you, just turn and let it hit some muscle, let it hit some fat. On-base percentage is still the most important statistic.
The pitch, and that is scorched foul. Look out, everybody.
Say at least, well, has Chase got the fence anymore? Or they take it down again. Oh, my. It fell again? Oh, that's not nice. Come on, Chase. I know you're celebrating because your home run. You got so amped up, you ripped the freaking dugout out again. Good Lord.
For those of you who are wondering what we're talking about, the dugout fence on the third base side for Chase is no longer there. The protection is not there. There's a line drive. Opposite field base hit. Good piece of hitting by Brody Fowler.
2 strikes.
Yes, sir. Tying run comes to the plate. Here's Nathan Tang.
Next up, the Hilltoppers, number 8, Nathan Payne.
Nathan, a very strong young man in that junior class, played third and second base. He can hit the ball over the fence, and that wind's picking up a little bit more out there.
First pitch is a low strike. 0-1 to Nathan Tang. The 0-1, big cut, no contact. And now he's behind with the count,
big
0-2.
swing. I guess that was a slider again. It was a tough pitch.
The 0-2. Oh, and this hits him.
Second time in a row. I think
Yes,
he was
it
hit by a
is.
pitch last time.
He's been hit by a pitch and walked.
Well, if we had to put a tutorial on of like how to just wear one, Nathan Tang is our guy. He's our professor of just turn and let the ball hit you, go to first base. Because did that not spark the rally in the last inning as well? So young kids got to swallow the ego a little bit and just know that like you don't need to hit a triple. You don't need to put the ball over the fence. Just keep getting on base. And Nathan Tang, I mean, he's a big, strong kid. Those legs, I mean, I'm guessing he didn't even feel it.
Maybe tomorrow morning he'll be feeling it.
I mean, that kid, he's a hoss. Those legs, I don't want to fight him. He looks like he'd be a good wrestler, too. Y'all got a good wrestling team here at R-S? Yeah.
They tried a bunt here with McDaniel, and he misses. So that's a strike, and it's 0-1 to Jake McDaniel.
McDaniel, was he the one that came around and scored that tying run?
Yes, he did.
On the error over at third base where Fowler just kept sending him.
McDaniel bunts first base side. It's a good one. It's going to be bobbled, and then tagged out is the runner there at first.
The argument is, did he tag him with the ball in his glove? It was subtle, but it looked like he may have. What did you guys see? Because it looked to me like he almost had, like, the ball came out of his glove and he tagged him with the glove without the ball in it?
Well, the umpires are going to talk about this right now and
we'll see Hunter's
discuss
replay
this.
here in a second. So I don't know if you got a replay you can pull up now.
They're going to roll him safe.
So we're going to try to watch a quick replay here and see exactly what happened. I thought he tagged him, but it was like subtle, like he pulled he had the ball in his hand and hit him with the glove.
So that's got to be an error.
I would call it an E3, 100%.
Another error
Watching
on the
replay.
That's 6 errors in this ball game.
Go back. So I'm looking at the replay right now.
And the bases are loaded with nobody out.
I don't know. Maybe it kind of looked like he had the ball and it was like a two-hand push or something. He may have got him. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I was kind of looking like. But looking in the replay, it's almost like he had him set, like the glove and the ball but pushed both at the runner. I kind of feel like what I saw here looks like he might have got him, but we don't have a great angle. My first thought was what you said. It was like the old because I remember, and I'm an Oriole fan. There was a play back in the day, like Chris Hoyles or something, like tagged him with the glove, and he had the ball in his hand. The umpire called him out, and it was like a big argument. And that play always stuck in my head, just knowing that we were always taught to put the hands together and push the runner, and it looked like what McGinnis was trying to do there at first. I just don't have a good enough angle on the replay to see.
Well, while
either way, it's good news for RS.
Well, while all that's going on, a pinch runner at second base is Bubba Wallace is going to pinch run at second base.
That's good to hear his name. Bubba had a arm surgery last year, I believe, and he had missed a lot of time. I actually did a little work with Bubba his freshman year, and after he got hurt, it was a big-time arm surgery, so his name disappeared for a second. But now that he's back on the board, he's another junior for Coach Fowler that can add to this solid depth that he's got for his Hilltoppers roster.
Well, they're loaded, filled with Hilltoppers. Here is Bryce Wellman. Takes the first pitch a little bit inside. It's a ball.
What a spot. Oh, that would be a error. E3 is what I called it. But Wellman here again, remember, he entered the game late. JV player did not realize he'd be up on varsity today. And he comes through again.
Opposite field base hit. This could score two. Scoring on the play is Fowler. Wallace is in as well. Opposite field single for Bryce Wellman. We're tied at 7. Bryce Wellman gets it done. And now runners at the corners. Still nobody out. And time is called. A mound visit presented by our friends from Ion Outdoors.
Yeah, he is. He don't need to run. You know the third baseman is going to be cheap.
And I'm sure that part of the conversation here is with the 9-hitter Austin coming up, would this be a suicide squeeze or a safety squeeze here possibly? And I'm sure that's part of the conversation going on right now.
We can definitely show the replay.
Man, what a fun game this has been. I mentioned this earlier. We've had a little bit of everything tonight in this contest. A little bit of controversy, a big home run, a lot of errors and walks, and the bases loaded, filled with Hilltoppers still. Conversation breaks up.
All right, here we go. Next up for the Hilltoppers.
So it's a 7-7 game, and here comes Carter Austin, who is 0 for 3. First pitch, it is a bunt up the third base line. It's a good one. First base line, only one play. The throw to first, hits the runner. Austin is off his shoulder. Around third is Wellman. Here's the throw. There is no throw. Wellman scores. R-S Central takes the lead.
Well, we've been saying there needs to be more bunting in this game. That's about as good as it can get there. Carter pushes it up the first base line. It's not an easy throw for Craig off the mound. Almost turned into a Little League home run.
Another error. 7 errors by Chase. 4 across in the inning. It's a 9-7 lead. The infielders are in tight now, and the first pitch is fouled back by Rylan Holly. who is 0 for 4. He does have an RBI on a fly out to right. That occurred in the 5th. And the 0-1, this is popped up. Right field, is this deep enough to score a run? The catch is made. The throw to the plate is not in time. Another run in. 5 across in the inning. And it's a 10-7 ball game.
And bring to the plate number 22, Zane Lovin.
Base is cleared now for Zane Lovin. Zane Lovin takes the first pitch. Over for a strike.
Come on.
Don't go home that much.
Nothing in 1 to Lovin. Next offering fouled back, and now it's nothing in 2.
Nothing close, Zane.
Go, love. Go, babe.
12 runs have scored in the last 2 innings.
All right, just made another update. Let's see if we can get some late watchers here. Well, we thought history might have a chance at rewriting itself this evening. Chase not having won at R-S since 2011. Nate Thomas had the big swing in the last inning.
That's roped down the third base line. That's a foul ball.
And that put Chase up 7-5. But 5 unanswered, well, 5 runs in the second half, the bottom half of the R-S inning. It makes it 10-7. Still only 1 out.
Still an opportunity to pour some more runs on if you're R-S Central. 1-2, that's outside.
You know who I'm sort of leaning towards if this game ends up finishing out like this for the player of the game is the dang JV call-up. Wellman having the big hit there.
That was a huge hit.
I was going to say we're going to have to circle back to these box scores. And
There's a ball hit on the ground, up the middle. It'll sneak into center field. That's a base hit.
Sneaks under the glove. I guess that's probably a single in the book.
And that brings to the plate number 7, Carter Cobb.
Here comes Carter Cobb. So Cobb walked in the first, grounded out in the third and the fourth, and he walked in the 5th. 10-7 R-S Central with the lead.
Rolling away from you.
1-0 to Cobb.
So that momentum changed quickly. It's
Very quickly,
now
didn't it?
Chase has only got 3 more outs to work with that quickly from the driver's
and
seat.
they're down 3 runs, not 1, but 3.
Not only are they no longer in the driver's seat, but heck, they might have a boot on their car, you know?
That's pretty good. I don't know where you pulled that from, but that was impressive. And this ball is going to go off the glove of the catcher Thomas and to the backstop. Pass ball there.
So you had some interesting score box lines tonight. I'm not sure if anything's jumping out at you for these R-S Hilltoppers offensively.
Oh, I've got my vote.
You do? Nice.
Yes, I do. I know how
I would say
I'm
this is
for.
the first game this year where I'm not near a score sheet. I love it. I don't envy you at all because I know how stressful it is trying to keep up with everything. Seems like you got a better knack on figuring out earned runs and unearned runs. That's what kills me.
No, I still get a little confused by that as well.
You should have seen what was it, Mountain Heritage, and how many errors do we see in that game? That's just a
A
simple
lot.
answer. Well, one of our pregame keys to the game yesterday was simply fail the least, and we were just talking about how like small school ball, like up there, there's going to be drops, there's going to be errors, there's going to be mistakes. It's just fail the least, and you probably win.
Ground ball right side. Long run for the second baseman. Hodge to throw to first. Not in time.
That was a nice effort by Hodge again.
Yeah, he had a long way to go to get to that baseball. He was playing leaning towards second base and had to race to his left to make that play.
It's bang bang. I could see an umpire maybe giving him that.
Now playing for the Hilltoppers. Number 1, Landon Whitley.
Here comes Landon Whitley.
So it's got to be a hit in the books there for Cobb. Here's Landon Whitley, again, with only 1 out and a big old crooked number up on the board already. Landon Whitley. Well, he's going to turn the bunt here. We'll see what's on in first and third. Runner goes.
First pitch is a ball, no throw down to second base.
Well, I guess that's a Hauling Solutions and Grading stolen base brought to you by Hauling Solutions and Grading. But I guess he's hauling gravel and Carter Cobb was hauling tail, but with no throw. What's your count now? Is that 1-1?
Through all the chaos, I still got it. Doing 7 games.
So 1-1 the count to the 9th hitter to come to the plate in Landon Whitley. There's a ball on the ground, hit to second. Fielded there, low throw, and it's bobbled. First baseman McGinnis can't find it. Finally he does, but another run scores.
Some tough luck there for Hodge. It's his 3rd error on the evening. He's been making some nice plays out there, too. He just bounced that throw to his first baseman. Good throw, gets him.
8 errors. Chase has 8 errors and 7 runs.
That's high school baseball. So long talk here between Fowler son and Fowler father. With another first and third
and by the way,
situation.
this is the second time that R-S Central has flipped the lineup. In other words, they've brought more than 9 men to the plate as the first pitch is low. Whitley takes second.
Intentional walk. It's always good for the ego. They don't want to face him at all. So free pass, loads the bases.
Number 8, Nathan Payne.
Nathan Tang, he's been getting targeted the last 2.
He's been hit by a pitch twice tonight. Oh. Nathan wanted to hit that ball to Asheville. Big cut, no contact. Oh, 1, and that's inside 1-1. 11-7 R-S Central over Chase.
I think if you're Tang here, the pitch to look for is probably going to be the slider and just trying to keep your hands inside, close to the body. Try to get the barrel down to it. If it's inside, hook it. If it's not,
oh, it almost got hit again.
If the slider bites outside, follow the curve and stroke it to right field. But either way, he's got to be short to the ball here and not. You don't need to load up here and hit a home run. They need an RBI single. 2 runs probably puts it out of hand.
2-1 pitch. Monster swing by Tang.
Again, he's a strong kid. He's close to the ground, a lot of centrifugal force. He does not need to take a hefty hat to generate a lot of power with those hips. Just needs to be short to the baseball.
That's in the dirt, goes to the backstop. Here comes another run for R-S Central.
Well,
on a wild pitch.
Five-run deficit now. This game is flipped quickly.
On its head. Yes,
So
it has.
I thought we were going to see history tonight. You know, I had a little joy in my heart for Chase. You know,
It was a 5-1 ball game going into the fifth.
I'm
Into
always
the bottom of the fifth.
rooting for the underdogs, you know.
And Tang is down on strikes.
In this case, I think the experience and just the determination of R-S Central, especially with pride on the table.
Here's Jake McDaniel now.
Because again, I think all the Rutherford County teams are pretty talented, but like Chase is the R-S is how R-S is going to field East Rutherford in a week or two as well.
There's a line drive caught by a racing Hodge. That ends the inning. However, damage done.
Come up with 7 runs in the bottom of the 6th.
I was going to say
7 comes across in the inning.
12, Chase 7.
I was going to say with Chase. I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish.
No, I was just going to say 7 across in the inning, and 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 men came to the plate. Last chance for Chase, down 12-7.
I mean, not impossible, but like Chase can beat RS. We saw that on Tuesday, and that's the same with like RS can beat East Rutherford, but it's always playing the role of that underdog just because of the way that the county and the conference has played out over the last couple of decades. But each one of these teams has had a conference champion since 2022, I believe. I think 22 is RS, 23 is Chase, and then East Rutherford since. We may find ourselves at that East Rutherford RS game. That's always a fun one. I almost feel like we're bad luck. We've done that game the last 2 years, and I think they've lost those games by a total of maybe 3 runs combined. So it's always close and always a battle with these Rutherford County teams. This has been one of the most fun games we've seen this year.
By the way, guys, Hale Tax Solutions, the official tax preparer of Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. In business since '97, Hale Tax Solutions International is headed by former IRS agents that understand the tax system's complexities and can guide you to your maximum returns. They perform all categories of tax returns, including personal, corporate, trusts, estates, and nonprofits. They can also offer bookkeeping services, consulting, and can be your representation at state or federal audits. With tax season in full swing, give Hale Tax Solutions International a call, 828-435-6082 today to schedule your return. Xavier Trejo still in there looking to collect a win in relief, a 1-1 count, and there's a bouncing ball to second. Fielded there by Wellman,
right.
that throws first.
Trejo is the pitcher of record.
Yes, he is.
Came in and pitched did he give up any runs in that last inning? He came in relief and closed it down, I believe.
No, he has not given up a run. It was Coffey that gave up that 2-run home run to Nate Thomas.
Well, let me ask you, because Hunter, what he does around this time is he slides me this card we see here, and he's asking like, who's the player of the game? Based on the statistical, output so far, like, who's your pick? Because it's been a sloppy game. It's hard. Like, I think my heart is going for the Wellman kid after that 2-run single.
Yeah, I think so too. But game is not over yet.
What's
still got 2 hours.
What's his line at the moment?
He's got a couple of singles and 3 RBIs. Two for two with 3 RBIs. Got to be him. Nope.
No. So just 2 official at bats. He had the 3 RBIs.
Got to be him, right?
Did he reach on an error?
He did not.
No. Okay. So
although those 8 errors by Chase, a lot of players
did. How many runs did he score?
1 run.
Okay. So was that a double he had down the line? Or
No, 2 singles.
Yep. 2 for 2 with a run and 3 RBIs.
In a 3-2 count here on
and
Chase
I think
McGinnis.
Just the drama of the young man having to enter the game unexpectedly is interesting as well. And that's Bryce Wellman.
Let's go, Trev.
3-2. On the ground, up the middle. It's going to be fielded there at second by Wellman. The throw to first is in time. And just like that, 2 down. Here in the 7th, last chance. Here's Gage Holland.
Number 20, Gage Holland.
Yeah, they took the air out of Chase with that 7 spot. Again, after the Nate Thomas homer, and this is just something I've noticed even as a high school coach, like when something big happens in the middle of the game, you guys steal the lead back. You can't exert all your emotion and your energy and just the yelling and screaming. You got to get your team back in the dugout and get them focused and get ready to go back to war. And I always worry about that when I see, again, I love the home run by Thomas, but it was almost like the celebration was a little
premature.
Premature, yep. I think what I try to teach a lot of my players back in the day is something like that. It's like you gather them up, get them back in the dugout. No, we ain't done yet. Keep the energy going. So we'll see. Again, these two, this is it for the year. It's going to most likely be a split unless they meet each other in the playoffs.
Yeah. And now Chase down to their final strike. 2-2 to Gage Holland. Trejo ready the pitch. That's upstairs, full count.
So they stick around for the post-game show. We'll be going through these box scores, showing you our next level plays of the game. Talk to you about our CamWood Bats player of the game and try to do a couple interviews if we can.
Pop behind us and in the direction of the parking lot.
17.
Yeah. Wellman was wearing number 17, right?
Yep. Yes. What's 28?
2028 is a sophomore.
The 3-2, and that's wide ball 4, so it's not over.
Holland goes first with the face-off ball. That'll bring up to the plate number 9, Ethan Hauser.
And we go to the 9 hitter in the lineup. It's Ethan Hauser. Walked in the 2nd, lined out in the 3rd, and then grounded out in the 5th. 2 down here in the 7th. 12-7 is our score. And Trejo misses wide for a ball 1-0. Now a quick mound visit, one of those, come on, let's get out of here type conversations.
Yeah, we're up 5. Why'd you walk him? Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to do that. All right. He's a freshman. Now, he's in line for the win, you said,
Yep,
correct?
yep.
So I wonder if that would be his first varsity win.
Yes.
So Trejo in line for his first varsity decision here. A win would be fun for the freshman to celebrate on his way home this evening with his folks. He's surely not driving himself. He's only a freshman. Again, 8 errors tonight for Chase is the big line that really stands out. It probably would have been the walks for the R-S pitchers had they not come back to gain the lead.
Too many walks for both teams. I'm sure both coaching staffs are going to talk to their pitchers about that.
Oh, that was the same kid, though, right? Wellman? Yeah.
Swing and a miss. 2-2. And again, Chase down to their final strike. Two pitch. Called strike 3. Ball dropped.
What?
And they'll tag the runner, and that'll do it.
Was that strike 3?
Ball game over.
Was it, I looked up and saw the ball pop out, so I was like, okay. Whoa, what a game. That was a great game. Dang, I'm getting some interesting information here about Trejo. Again, congratulations on him getting his first win for varsity, but fun fact, Trejo was actually born with one eye was blind. He had to fight through some crazy adversity to get to where he is today, so love to see kids overcoming adversity. So Trejo earning the W, picking up his Hilltopper pitchers before them that were racking up the walks. So congratulations to the freshmen. We'll let Canio go through some box scores here with you. And
Yeah, I'll give you some nominees for the player of the game. Let's see here. We'll start with Chase. Nate Thomas had a big night. 1 for 1 with a 2-run home run. That occurred back in the 6th. But he also walked 3 times, scored 2 runs, and drove in 2. And then, holy cow, they just turned the lights on in the press box. Wow. Sawyer Waugh ended up with a double, 2 runs scored. Zach Branch had a single, 2 RBIs, and 2 walks. And those were the...
Remember, Gage Holland had a big 2 RBI single there.
Oh, that's right, yes. Gage had a double in the 3rd that scored 3 runs. Remember, this was a 5-1 ball game at one point in time, and then it was tied up at 5. Chase then took a 7-5 lead in the 6th on that monster home run by Nate Thomas. And however, Xavier Trejo came into the ball game and kind of calmed things down, retired Noah Craig, Matthew Rayborn, and then Sawyer Waugh. And then the 6th inning was the big inning when 9, 10, 11, 12 men came to the plate. The big hit was a 2-run single by Bryce Wellman, who came into the ball game replacing Maddox Henson and ended up driving in 2 of the, 7 that came plateward, and R-S Central ends up getting the victory by a final score of 12-7, a game that saw 10 errors total, 8 by
what inning did Wellman come
Chase
into the game? Do you remember when that injury happened to that left fielder? It was on the it was the triple by Wow. Whenever the Sawyer Wow hit that triple, I think that's when the kid fell down out there.
Okay,
Actually,
so
no, that
let me-
wasn't. No, that's when he bobbled it out there. It was 4. Was it on a hit or
So
did the kid just make the play out
Wellman's
there?
first at bat was in the 5th inning, and Holland
When did Wellman come into the game for you? On your...
Holland got a single that brought home 2. I believe that was in the 3rd. Yes. So
I was just double checking when Wellman came in. You said it was the 3rd inning?
it was the 3rd inning because Holland had a single that drove in 2. And then Wellman's first plate appearance was the 5th. Singled home a run, and then the big hit in the 6th inning.
I thought he was the one that reached on that error earlier on. What was your line for Wellman? What'd you have? So 2 for
We're going
2
to double
or 2
check
for
that
3?
because Wellman may have reached on an error by the shortstop in the 4th inning. Too many errors. Both teams are not going to be happy looking at this box score. And a reminder, Next Level Baseball, proud to bring you the Next Level Play of the Game, the only showcase organization in WNC endorsed by Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. Coach Rick DeArmas does a great job developing culture and creating player development opportunities for youth players of all ages. Now, here is your Next Level Play of the Game.
All right, so this is when the young Bryce Wellman, out of his element a little bit, didn't realize he was going to be playing for varsity. He didn't try to do too much, just poked it down the right field line, and that scored 2 runs that ended up scoring this ball game. I love Coach Fowler's windmill here. He's just sending everybody. So, again, 2 runs in. That ties this game up. That was huge. Again, we're trying to look through some of the final box scores here. tallying everything up. I think, because again, we have a shout out for Zane Lovin having a good day. What was Zane Lovin's final numbers? I was going to say we need to.
Let's see here. Zane had 3 hits. He was 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, 2 doubles. On base a lot for R-S Central.
11 was 3 for 5.
All right, so Lovin 3 for 5, 2 runs, no RBIs. And then where's Wellman? So Wellman comes in 2 for 3, a run and 3 RBIs. He had that big hit.
Yeah.
So he came into the game in the 4th inning and reached on an error.
Okay.
So he reached. So he reached all 3 times tonight.
Yeah, so he's 2 for 3. So our bad. So it's all good. I was gonna say what I usually do is I write in all the final lines, just like whether 0 for whatever, and then that's what I go through and like type up.
I can do that.
The end there, but 828.
So the Hilltoppers get the victory 12-7. And these 2 teams split.
Yep.
With Chase winning a couple of nights ago, 9-8?
Yep.
And
or no,
now
it was 10-9.
10-9.
Yep. So
10-9. And tonight,
it almost seemed like it was just as close tonight, but you look up and you see that 5-run difference. It's that last inning. It was such a back and forth game.
Yeah.
Again, Chase seemed like they were running away with it for a minute. Again, I think Wellman coming in unexpectedly, first varsity appearance, 2 for 3, gets on base all 3 times as the 2-run single that ties the game. I think he's my choice. I love Zane Lovin, no pun intended, but and he had a heck of a game. But with those 3 runs punched across by Wellman, especially with the dramatics, he's going to be our CamWood Bats player of the game. So do you want me to go down and start gathering folks while you do your readouts?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be
Go to the
right back.
logo.
I'll bring this with me.
I'll be down in a second.
all right. And thank you to the following businesses who are home team sponsors tonight, supporting the time put toward marketing this game to college coaches pregame and editing and posting highlights for the R-S Central Hilltopper prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media. Our great friends at Sakura Japanese Cuisine. They are in Spindale on West Main Street. They're in Forest City on South Broadway. And they're also in Hendersonville on Spartanburg Highway. So big thank you to Sakura Japanese Cuisine. And thank you to the following businesses who are Chase sponsors tonight, supporting the time put toward marketing this game to college coaches, pregame and editing and posting highlights for the Trojans prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media. And we thank our friends at Coast Guard CWOA and their website, CWOAUSCG.org. I'll give that to you again. CWOAUSCG.org and B&B Wildlife Management. And if you need their assistance, give them a call at 828-231-0249. And that is it for this evening's rendition of Baseball University's WNC Scout and Streaming Series. Thank you again to all of our sponsors: Meineke, Bloom Patch Farms, Comfort Keepers, American Legion Post 70, Nova X Kinectics, Hale Tax Solutions, Goodicedtea, House of Power, Peak Performance Vault, Ion Outdoors, Chad McMahon State Farm Insurance, Granning Landscapes, Inc., Hauling Solutions and Grading, Burlett Painting, CamWood Bats, and Next Level Baseball. For the best coverage and content of Western North Carolina baseball, visit our Patreon at patreon.com/BB University WNC. Here you'll find conference previews, preseason and playoff predictions, power rankings, players of the week, podcasts, highlight films, and much more. Memberships start at only $1, and all the money raised stays here in WNC. Support Mountain Baseball. And stay connected on social media with Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. Like and subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/@BBUniversityWNC. Like us on Facebook at Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. Follow us on X and Instagram at BBUniversityWNC. Check out our website at baseballu.org. And a reminder, CamWood Bats, located in Haywood County, serves baseball and softball players across the nation. Game bats, trainers, tees, tutorials, and more are available for purchase at camwoodbats.com. As part of our partnership with CamWood, make sure to use the coupon code, and jot this down, BBUWNC, for a 10% discount on all purchases throughout their website.
Well, I think Ryan's gonna get the interview going. Good.
Y'all ready?
Yo.
Y'all hear me up there? Check, check.
Let's check.
All right. Well, we got a few young men down here. The first one we're going to talk to is Zane Lovin. We know Zane. We love him. No pun intended. Zane's heading off to Berea next year. Good athlete. You're a very, just a well-mannered, mature young man. I've enjoyed working with you. 3 hits tonight. Kind of chaotic. Why is this game, I know it's a conference game and all, but explain the rivalry that these Rutherford County teams have with each other.
I mean, it's just a county rivalry. It's always going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. You always want to play your heart out and show who the best team is. And we did that tonight. Had a bad game Tuesday, but picked it up and showed what we were tonight. It just means a lot to everybody because, a lot of smack talk, of course, rivalry game, always.
I was going to say that's kind of the fun part, though, because I'm sure they gave it to you a little bit after Tuesdays, and y'all probably going to go give it to them a little bit tonight on the social media or whatever. But I think all in all, y'all respect each other, and you play good baseball. You grew up with these kids. Coach Fowler is a great human. I've always enjoyed being around him and learning from him. Tell me a little bit about his personality in the dugout when you guys are down 5-1. How's he try to get you guys locked back in?
Oh, yeah, man. Coach Fowler, he's amazing. I wouldn't be nowhere near where I am without Coach Fowler, and he's really stepped up for everybody, and he always does, and he just gets everybody going. Says we're in the pinstripes at home on a Friday night, and we're never out of it. We're always in it.
I was going to say you got good senior leadership. I'm sure he's taught y'all how to be leaders, but the next two we're going to talk to here are freshmen. So speak on some of these young guns coming up behind you.
Man, they're just good. It's got a bright future in Central. Bryce first varsity game comes out with a big knock. Trejo coming in, shutting them down. It's really huge. It makes you smile because it's just a young dude, and he's coming out and just shoving it up varsity players.
Are they buying in? Are they going to be able to replace the senior leadership when it's their turn?
100%. Completely confident.
I think that's a lot because of you and some of your other senior teammates. So Congratulations. Go enjoy it. I'll see you next time. Mr. Trejo, so you're the only freshman that either coach put on the list. Didn't see your name in the starting lineup. You talked a little bit about your pitching. Thought we might see you. So here you come in relief. You come into the game up 2, or was it tied at the time? Yeah, because you were the winning pitcher. So was it tied when you came into the game?
I think we were losing by 2.
It was down 7-5 at the time. That's right. So you come in, you shut the door, got the middle of the order bats out. But again, you're a freshman. So when coach says, "Hey, you're getting the ball," is there any freshman nerves?
Yeah, there's a lot of freshman nerves, a lot. I mean, I believe in my teammates. They can have the defense behind me and work hard.
Well, let me ask you this. When did the nerves leave you? Was it after you got out of the inning? Was it after you got one out and just breathed a little bit?
It was after that first inning I came out. I was like, I'm done now. I can do this.
Out number 3 is made behind you. Explain the emotions.
It was just amazing. My defense, my teammates, my leaders, my seniors, man, they're just great teammates. I love to be out here with them.
Yeah, I can tell you love it, man. And that was an awesome performance. So congratulations on your first varsity win. Now we got to congratulate one more freshman. So bright things ahead for the Hilltoppers. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you next time. Well, Bryce Wellman, you come into the game, they don't even have your number on the roster. Like, who's this kid? Right, who's in the game? We had, we're shuffling around out there. The PA announcer gave us your info, and you reached base all 3 times, 2 for 3. Obviously, the reason you're getting this game bat tonight, you come up down 7-5. Didn't try to do too much. Take us through that at bat a little bit as you're coming up to the plate. What was the plan? What were you thinking? Especially since you didn't expect to be on this field necessarily tonight.
Well, since I got to give it credit to our senior leaders. Carter Austin's one of our senior leaders. So was Zane coming up to me and saying, hey, you know how good you are. Act like it. So I wasn't trying to do too much. I knew if I just put it in play, it'll find a hole somewhere and score us a run. So I was just trying to do a job for my teammates.
I love to hear that culture. It's not like you're just going up here without a plan. Everybody's got your back. And that seemed to be the theme tonight. Like, everybody just kept stepping up in big moments. When you entered the game, like, where were you? Like, you're sitting on the bench, I'm guessing, in here, or standing up with your teammates. Take me through the moment where you knew you were coming into this game and what was running through your head.
Well, I was actually chasing to get a foul ball, but I was coming back in the dugout, and I saw our left fielder down, and I was like, man, something's wrong with him. And then it hits me like I'm the next man up. So everybody's just telling me, you go get him. You know how to do it, and you know how good you are. So it's just my confidence my teammates give me.
All right, so, again, you're about to close it out with your teammates. Is there anything special that you guys do before you go home after a big win? Anything that, kind of is like the cherry on top here for celebration?
Well, normally we get into the facility, we fire up the JBL party box, and we listen to some music. And we normally dance a little bit and hang around and do a bunch of not so cool stuff, but it's awesome. And then we normally go to Waffle House. So
it's Friday. Go dance and go to Waffle House. Now, look, we're going to take a picture with you with the dummy bat. Like I said, CamWood is going to be printing out the better bats here soon, so I'll find you. I'll drive down here on a practice day and get you your better bat. But Hunter's going to come down here in a minute and take a picture of you. We're going to make a flyer. And, again, ladies and gentlemen, I did not know that Bryce was a freshman. I was calling him a sophomore up in the box. So, freshman player of the game, Bryce Wellman. Awesome. Well, that's it for us tonight. Mute it. Okay.
Baseball University of the Blue Ridge thanks you for tuning into the Western North Carolina Scout and Streaming Series from Rutherfordton, North Carolina, on the campus of R-S Central Middle School. This has been coverage of the Western North Carolina High School Baseball, where the R-S Central Hilltoppers defeated the CHASE Trojans by a score of 12-7. For Ryan Cook and Canio Costanzo, I'm Hunter Street, your